Welcome to the show, man.
Yo, how you doing?
Have you watched the show before?
I actually have not.
No?
No, I mean, just I'm barely aware that you were doing it for a
Right.
while, and just haven't gotten around to it.
You're my first different guest.
What is different?
Somebody that doesn't come on every single week.
Oh,
The same person. So you're the first
So you
one.
have a regular.
Yeah, I do have a regular.
Oh, okay, what's his name? What does he do?
Thomas Road?
Okay, no, I have no
He went to
idea.
Buna.
Oh,
You went to Vineland.
I went to Vineland, and
Right.
yeah, I think you're a couple years older than me. I'm 36.
All right, don't rub it in. Yeah.
Well,
I'm old. I know. I'm like 42.
No, I'm just. Oh, you're. I didn't know. I just kind of, from what I remember, But yeah, I guess it's a little bit different. What do you guys usually get into?
Just politics.
Yeah.
He likes to talk about politics, so we talk about politics. Usually I try to start off with some, everyday nonsense that average people get into.
Yeah.
So, like I started
guess-
off with bowling last time, but it all varies depending on who's on.
Yeah. Well, I just haven't even seen you in a while. So, like, what have you been doing?
Nothing really.
Yeah.
This I came back from California. I learned how to grow weed.
Uh-huh.
Where's my wallet? I don't have my wallet there. I went to the Amsterdamn University for a couple months.
Yeah.
Just to learn some horticulture of cannabis.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and then California sucks. It's a terrible place to live.
Oh, yeah.
It's horrible. So,
I don't know. I've been out there several times. I used to date a girl from Fresno.
It sounds like a song.
I should write that song.
Yeah.
Shit, actually, it could be a very appropriate, like, possibly the one that got away type of song.
Very sad song.
And not that sad. Like, I'm not gonna regret that it didn't work out. But I mean, if I were to be super honest,
How long ago was this?
If there was one girl, it was probably her. That was maybe 08 we separated.
Oh, 8, 10
Yeah.
years ago?
Yeah.
She's already got a litter.
Oh, she's
got
married.
a litter. Yeah.
She lives
She's-
in North Carolina.
Oh, you still know where she is and stuff?
I mean, we're
Oh yeah,
friends
you
on
grew up
Facebook.
in the Facebook generation.
Yeah.
Like you were more into the Facebook generation
Yeah.
than I was.
A little bit. I avoided it for a while because, like, I just don't socialize by nature that much.
Right.
But playing in the bands, it's like you got to network, you got to tell people where you're playing and all that kind of crap.
It's weird now because now kids, I guess they would get on Facebook around 8 or 9 years old, right?
Yeah.
So all your friends from 3rd grade to death, you'll always keep in contact, even the ones that move away.
Unless you hate them.
Unless you unfriend them,
Yeah,
unless
yeah.
they're an asshole or a creeper,
Mhm.
and then you unfriend them. But
Yeah.
aside from that, I can remember people when I was a kid that moved away. You never knew what
Yeah.
happened to them. They just
Right.
fucking disappeared out of
Yeah.
your life. And then
Yeah.
every once in a while, you'll be like, "Oh, I remember there was a girl. There used to be a girl I liked
Yep.
in 2nd grade. She moved away to fucking Tibet,
Yeah.
and now I have no idea where she is."
That topic is, as I get older, I think that helped shape who I am, or helped. I don't know. It just shaped who I am, in the sense of, like, one summer, or 1 year. I think it was about 6th grade. I had 3 friends. Like, one was, like, literally a best friend,
Right.
and then the other 2, I guess, were best friends, but it was more like new because it was like best friend number 1 moved away to
Right.
Boston, and then I made a new best friend for only a couple months, and then he moved away to, like, Arizona, and then I made a new best friend for a couple months, and he moved away to somewhere. I don't even remember. So it was. I think
It was
I
the
learned-
8th grade.
What?
8th grade.
What do you mean 8th grade?
You said the 8th grade.
No, like 6th grade.
Oh, 6th grade.
Yeah.
I knew it was an even number.
But what I'm getting at is that I learned from a very early age. You just don't know who's going to stick around.
Yeah.
And I hate to approach every relationship, whether it's a friendship or a girlfriend or something like that, but, like, I know immediately, like, I'm coming into this, and you have to respect the fact that I know we might not last forever.
Right.
And so we're going to approach every step as, like, well, we're gonna be serious and we're gonna be committed, but you do know life changes, right? Like anything could happen at any point.
Yeah, some people leave and then some people come back too.
Yeah, sure.
It's like a cycle. So, and some people just never come back. Some people drop in every once in a while.
Yeah.
And some people come in permanently to destroy your life again.
It's funny how that works. Yeah.
Which is weird because my wife was your babysitter.
Yeah.
She told me that.
Yeah.
I was like blown away.
Yeah, her family and my family.
And you guys were just jibber jabbing up there.
Yeah.
I was hoping that you wouldn't just blow your load up there. So by the
yeah.
time you got down here, there was like nothing to talk about.
You're a fresh face. That I
Fresh,
can blow.
so fresh, so face.
Yes, yes. I have actually been listening to Shapiro a lot.
Oh yeah, you like Shapiro?
I do.
I like Shapiro too. I don't like his Israeli stuff, but I do like him.
I don't know all the technicalities about Israel, and maybe that would be a good topic for us to get into. But generally about Shapiro and like all the right wing kind of stuff is, I grew up more left wing. Like I just think that way naturally.
Me too.
But when you do that, you just miss the other side of the argument.
Right.
And sometimes you might not like the other side of the argument, but you should definitely listen to it.
Well, the left isn't the left when we were growing up.
Well,
it's completely different now.
It's always, I guess. Right?
Yeah. Well, no, they've gone really social. I don't want to go too much into politics because I do politics with the other guy all the time. I mean, if that's what you want to talk about, we can talk about it.
I do talk about it, and I listen to it a lot, so we can go there, but we can definitely stay away.
It's up to you. It's an open platform, so I usually go wherever
it goes.
Wherever it goes.
Yeah. So I mean, just generally speaking, with Shapiro, he's very good at just bringing up the other side, or the things that I might not necessarily think about at first.
Right.
He can be a little cocky, he can be a little bit, like condescending and all that kind of stuff. But if you are actually interested in hearing the right view, meaning the right side, and
which is the right view,
and hearing it in a logical manner,
right,
you should listen to him or Crowder or whatever. It's just be an open-minded person and listen to all the information and try to pick it out.
Well, I've said this before, but I became a libertarian.
Mm-hmm.
I voted for Bush,
mm-hmm.
and then after he's the worst president in my life.
Yeah.
I swear I'd never vote for a Republican again. And then Obama came up, and I was just like, this is it. And I campaigned for him. I went door to door. I fucking handed out pamphlets. I talked to people.
Really?
And then 2 years into his presidency, I was just like, I'm never voting for a fucking Democrat again, because all he did was roll all George Bush's administration into his administration.
And just keep it going.
Yeah, it was the same. He just fucking, after all that hope and change off the fucking status quo, all he did, he rolled all of the previous administration into his administration.
I mean,
with having the House and the Senate, he had the House and the Senate.
So you're basically saying he
for
had
the first
all
2
the
years,
power, or he had all the capability to do whatever he wanted.
He had all the capability to do whatever he wants, and he
kept
just rolled in. He rolled in the previous, and I was just like, that was it.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I can't take any of these parties, and then I became a libertarian.
Right. So, well, that makes sense.
So yeah.
How many different ways can you get disappointed before you just start saying,
yeah,
I don't associate with any of it. Right?
I'm done. I'm done with the false promises.
Mm-hmm.
The campaign promises, and then the fucking administration lies. It's just there's a breaking point, I think.
Yeah, I think not just with politics, but anything in life, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I just got done dating a girl where, I mean, we only officially dated briefly, but it got really weird really quick, and you just get exhausted.
Yeah, all right.
Like, tag out, like, good game, we're done.
Try to stay near the mic.
Oh yeah, my bad.
Because when you go back, it'll fade out.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But
you can move. This moves.
You're talking to a professional musician.
I know. That's what I'm saying. You're a professional musician, and you're. Somebody save me.
Yeah.
You can move. It moves around. So.
Oh, okay. Like, go with me. Sure.
Yeah. That's the first time I met you. You were doing solo acoustic over.
That was the first time you met me?
That was the first time I met you.
Okay.
You were doing solo acoustic at the what the fuck is Good Sports? Not Good Sports. What's that bar? It's
Double Eagle?
Trashy bar. Yeah, the Double Eagle. I think it's not
No.
No. It's
Good Sports
by the railroad tracks.
You're talking
going
about
towards Northern Violin.
going towards Northern Violin.
Yeah, it's in
talking about MVP?
Is it? No, it's not MVP. No, it's on Buna. It's in Franklin, not Minatola side.
Yeah, well, MVP is close to that.
You walk in, the bar's on the left. It's a long bar, and
Yeah.
there's pool tables on the right.
Yeah, that's
And
MVP.
you were right, kind of in the back.
Yeah,
Is that
yeah,
MVP?
that's MVP,
They
yeah.
change their name every fucking time. It
Yeah,
used to be
yeah.
a bar.
Yeah, it used to be
used to be one bar that was a.
Frosted Mug.
It used to be the Frosted Mug.
Right,
Correct.
Right.
You were playing acoustic, and you were like, if anybody can name this song,
Yeah.
I'll buy you a shot.
Yeah.
And
Did you get it?
I did. It was
Oh,
it was the Lemonheads. Remember?
Oh, which one? I used to play like 2 or 3 of them.
I forget that. I think it was. I forget which one it was. I don't. It wasn't the cover. It wasn't the.
Mrs. Robinson.
It wasn't with the Mrs. Robinson cover. It was the other. Their other popular.
Yeah.
one. They only had 2 popular ones. They had the They had I think it was. I think it was that one.
Whatever that song is. I always, I don't know if you remember, but I always used to read the lyrics because I couldn't be bothered to memorize them all. It's
Right.
just too much work.
Right.
Yeah, I'm getting paid, $120 or whatever.
So
I'm not memorizing all these lyrics.
I bought you a shot back
Oh,
because
did
I
you?
wasn't going to drink alone.
Yeah,
I'm not going to
okay.
take a shot by myself.
Okay.
So I bought you a shot back. That's how I met you. And then I met
Stand-up
you.
guy.
And then I met you again. Yeah, stand-up guy. And then I met you again through Becky and Anita
Mhm.
and what's his name?
Paul?
Paul.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't believe I just forgot his name.
Yeah.
That's
That
blasphemy
mysterious guy, right?
that mysterious guy.
Yeah.
He's out in Vegas now.
Is he?
He just battled cancer.
Oh, crap.
He did
I
all
didn't
this.
know that.
Yeah. I mean, he was bad for a little bit. I don't know.
It's rough to hear stuff like that, man. Because like I have a friend, you probably don't know him, who just passed this past week.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't a super close friend, but like we definitely went to school together.
Right.
We definitely shoot the shit, like
Right.
playing cards in class.
Yeah.
When we were probably supposed to be doing something else. And
Right.
really funny guy, and
Wait, was it cancer too? Also,
I don't know.
Oh.
It was one of these things where like I hadn't seen the guy in like 10 years or something, and he just started popping back up on Facebook and just being really funny. The kid's name's Nick Sanowski,
Right.
for anybody who might actually know him or knew him.
Cameras over here.
Camera's over there.
Camera one.
I saw the volume meter going up and down, and I was like, I'm going to talk to that. 'Cause I know what that is. Camera's over there. All right. But, yeah, he was just being typical Nick, just saying ridiculous shit on Facebook.
Right.
There
he's
was an
like-
ongoing joke on Facebook where he would be in Facebook jail more than anybody else that we knew because he didn't give a fuck. You know what I mean? And that's what we all loved about him,
That sucks. He died.
Yeah, and it was the thing. One of my best friends and I were talking about is, it's kind of sad that you find out through social media that somebody you knew died, and it was to the point where, because he was such a jokester, we didn't really even know if what the people were saying that he died
Right.
was actually true, or whether he was just going to Facebook jail or something. You know what I mean? Like again.
Right.
And it was just kind of like, oh, wow. Like, I'm going to have to, like, call somebody up on the phone and be like, wait, how did he actually die? Like, what happened,
I've said that we're like the first generation that's going to be able to see all our friends die
Mm-hmm.
if we're not the first ones dead.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah. It's a crazy, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So
Technology.
Paul had cancer, man. He's not somebody I was super close to, but it's another one of those things where it's like,
You've hung out with them.
yeah. You wouldn't want to hear any of your buddies, like,
Nah.
going through something. I have another guy, close friend, who had a couple of strokes
Different strokes.
a couple of different strokes.
Right.
He had a black stroke and
Yeah,
a white
little
stroke.
black stroke, an older rich stroke,
Yeah, exactly.
a female stroke that grew up to be a whore.
But yeah, you just never know, like, when some bullshit like that's gonna happen, and so another reason.
Well, we're
like,
getting into that age too.
Yeah.
So we're getting into the age where frailty meets disease.
Yes.
So
Yes. And you gotta play your cards right, and you gotta live your life. You know, I used to be a little bit more existentialist, back when I was playing in the bands.
Right.
Because I think I was just starting to get bored on
Right.
stage and just
start thinking,
start thinking too much,
just
right?
daydreaming
Right.
while
Like,
you're doing your 3 chords.
yeah, exactly. You're like, oh, fucking Jesse's Girl
Yeah,
again.
right.
Like, I'm gonna die tomorrow. Do I really want to be playing Jesse's Girl right now?
I'm not even the one gonna be doing the solo. I'm just fucking the rhythm in the background. What the fuck, man?
Yeah.
What's it?
But it really makes you start to think, like, with the death popping up a little bit more commonly. You're just like,
Yeah.
what do I actually want to do tomorrow? You know what I mean?
Right.
Do I want to sit behind the computer for another 10 fucking hours?
You say commonly more? You mean? I don't think it's more. I think we get more information.
Yeah,
So,
that's a very strong.
I think it's actually less, but we get more information now.
Yeah.
So we know, we're acknowledging now.
Right.
So
I think that is a very big growing pain for humanity right now.
information.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's like,
The
all the presidents have always been pieces of
Yeah.
shit. You
Oh, yeah.
know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
well, yeah. We like to yell at Trump, but
yeah.
let's really start looking at the
I know.
system and what's really going on. You know?
When he first got in, it was, a saying came around, the whataboutism. Everybody on the left was like, whataboutism now,
Mhm.
right?
I still don't even really
And they used
fully comprehend it. You know?
Yeah, they used that. It just started coming up, and they're the ones that brought it up because they didn't want to hear that the president that they liked was a piece of shit.
Right.
So why you keep bringing what do you keep bringing? Well, because it's a gauge. You're comparing,
Right.
So
Right.
he's a piece of shit. You're calling him a piece of shit, but the guy you supported was a piece of shit too. But he's doing the same things,
Right.
And now
exactly.
and now you're angry.
And
You weren't
it's sort
angry
of like
before.
a dismissive, deflective, condescending way
Yeah.
of saying, I don't give a shit. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
exactly. It's very
Right.
pretentious.
Right.
You're just like, well, what aboutism?
Right.
Yeah, now you're just making up a phrase
Mhm.
to cover all your shit.
Right.
Anyway, like I said, let's try to
Not too much of that.
Let's try to skirt around it. I get too many political. Like I said, all my last 5 interviews,
Have been
it
super
was
political.
all politics.
Yeah. Well, it's almost inevitable because it's all in all of our minds all the time now.
More than ever, and I think
Yeah.
it's because of the internet.
So let's be proactive and get the fuck away from
Okay.
it for a minute.
So you just came back from Costa Rica.
Yeah.
So I saw a couple pictures on Facebook.
Yeah.
There was a picture of a castle I found intriguing.
A castle.
I think it was a castle or barracks or fort maybe.
Yeah. I mean, it was probably something in the middle of San Jose. Basically, my Airbnb host was a super cool guy.
They got Airbnbs down there
Oh fuck yeah, they got Airbnbs
that don't
everywhere.
kidnap and murder you.
Well, not this guy. But he's about our age
Right.
and likes to party a little bit.
Cool.
So, and he is taking a photography class.
You went to Costa Rica.
Yeah,
Okay.
I went to Costa Rica.
I've never been there.
It's super nice.
Is it American territory or is it just its own country? I
It's
don't
its
know.
own country.
Its own country?
But your passport is totally cool. You just show up,
Alright.
kind of thing.
Right.
Um,
It's not Cuba.
No, it's not Cuba, or it's just not like any of the other kind of countries where you actually have to apply for a visa to get there.
Yeah,
and
to
all
get
that.
in there and stay a little
Right,
bit.
which can get kind of annoying.
Right.
I mean, it's nothing like people who try to get to our country.
Right. Yeah.
But it's still just the annoying process. Like, oh, I got to drive to New York and apply for a visa at the embassy and all that kind of stuff.
So you actually stayed at somebody's, not in like the tourist fucking section. You stayed
No.
at somebody's house.
I stayed at somebody's house in like sort of off the beaten path.
Off the beaten path.
Yeah, I mean, if for anybody who knows San Jose, it was Moravia, and which is it's a nice area. It's just
Right.
not the typical center city type of area
Right.
that most people would go to. But he's taking a photography class, and I'm learning how to make video games. So we just decided one day.
All right. Oh,
He-
you're learning the code?
Yes,
Okay.
exactly. So he.
I might get an internet strike. I might get a strike for that.
Oh,
Saying
Mhm.
learn the code.
what do you mean? I don't know.
That's a fucking big thing.
Oh, okay. What do you mean, like the whole topic of learning to code?
Yeah, no, it's a political thing for Twitter and stuff.
Oh, okay.
They're banning people for saying it.
Oh, okay. Anyway, so he needed to get some pictures for his photography class. I needed to get some sound effects for my video game. So we just
Right.
walked around. So that picture was probably just us in the middle of San Jose somewhere.
Right. Well, no, the fort
Yeah, I don't
or what,
know.
whatever it was.
I don't remember.
I was skimming through
Yeah,
on the John.
yeah. Oh, okay. Maybe it was.
I was
last
doing
time
research
Costa Rica.
before the
Yeah,
before the interview.
I've been doing trips to Costa Rica for the past year to get implants for my teeth.
Implants.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
So my mouth is all jacked up on the top row, and yeah. I mean,
It looks good.
Yeah, I mean,
they
it's
look better
done.
than my teeth. I
It's
got
done.
fucking spaces.
because they're all fake.
Oh, all right.
But yeah, I've been spending the past year taking trips to Costa Rica to get
Right.
these implants.
What is it,
And-
like a disease or something, or genetic?
No, it was
Because my mom, my mom's got the fucking, her teeth are all falling
Yeah,
out,
some
and that's
people-
like a future that I'm looking right at.
Sure. Some people just are born with bad teeth.
Yeah, I think that's me
which
too.
kind of sucks. But no, I had an accident when I was in like 7th grade.
Oh, all right.
I was putting boxes away in the attic with my mom, and I went in through like a cubbyhole entrance.
Yeah, the little side entrances
Mhm.
on the.
And
On the
in the actual attic was like pull down steps. So I'm holding this box,
Oh,
and I didn't realize like the fucking pull down steps were in front of me. So I just stepped on it and fell.
and
to
it
the-
opened up.
Yeah,
Oh shit!
yeah.
And
So
you
I,
fucking tumbled right down.
right down to the cement garage floor.
Cement.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fucked you up.
Yeah.
All right,
So-
so it was a garage. It was a garage, an attic over the garage.
Yeah.
It wasn't the one you didn't land on nice soft carpet wood floor.
No.
Just fucking hard ass concrete.
Mm-hmm.
You had to go to the hospital
Oh yeah.
where you just
oh,
fucking gushing blood.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Your mom's freaking out like you're
Yeah.
dead.
The whole thing.
Just carrying you.
No, she didn't carry me. I was able to walk and all that kind of crap. But it was quite an experience. And so basically, for my whole life, I've had to go in and out of the dentist, and this time because I'm of age,
Right.
my mouth is like fully formed. I guess you could say
Yeah.
they
all
could
the
finally put in the implants.
all the bones fused.
Right. And it's just the shape of the mouth. Like they don't
Right.
want to put something like an implant in there and then your mouth changes shape.
Your mouth changes shape?
Oh, everybody's mouth
Oh.
change. Well, I mean, up until you're like, I don't know, 30 or something.
I didn't know that. That's fucking weird.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean,
So you can go whole fucking Heath Ledger sometimes.
Yeah.
It's fucking
Yeah. Yeah. It was quite a process this past year. I first went and they thought they were just going to be able to like put the implants in there and
Right.
have me come back in 4 months.
Is it like screws?
Yep.
Or is it? Oh, so it's like a screw. So
Yep.
they're screwing the fucking tooth in.
Yeah.
So you can technically
there's like a
unscrew it?
screw- Yeah, I mean they could take out this bridge, which
Right.
is cemented in,
Okay.
and then there's an abutment on it, something
Right.
that goes around the screw.
You got a butt in your mouth.
Uh-huh. And so like literally this past time he screwed it in by hand, and then he like twisted it with some tool, and then he did like a crank twist tool to like it didn't hurt. What?
Just fucking
Everything that
looks
happened
awkward
before
as
that.
hell.
It was a little
He's
awkward.
fucking over you,
Yeah.
cranking some shit in your mouth.
Yeah. That's really like the mild end of what I went through this past
So how
year.
long were you in Costa Rica?
This past time was only a week.
So this is more than one time you've been over there.
Yeah,
Do
I've
you-
been 3 times this past year.
Right.
The second time I was there for 2 weeks.
You like to go abroad, don't you?
But why not?
I know that's true. I've done it also.
Yeah. I mean, I work online too, so
Right. What do you do? What do you do?
I teach English online.
Oh, ESL.
Yep.
Yeah, I that's one of the main reasons I wanted you in here. I wanted to talk to you about that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
About your adventures in Asia.
Right.
So you spent 2 years over there.
No, I only spent 7 months this past, like last year or
I
whatever.
mean, in total, I would guess, right?
Yeah, probably 2 years.
Probably 2
traveling or
years.
whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm
You would have to take a break to come back.
well.
I
The
mean-
only reason I really took a break was to come back for a wedding.
Oh, okay.
One of my best friends
Right.
was getting married, and he helped me through some tough times. So I really wanted to be there for
Oh,
his.
that's
for
nice.
his
That's
thing.
cool.
But now that I'm done with my teeth, I'm ready to get the fuck out of Jersey. Not that Jersey's terrible. You just gotta kind of have money
Yeah.
to really do it right as
sucks.
a single guy. You know.
It sucks out here.
Yeah.
I was gonna move to Delaware.
Yeah, might as well.
Because it's fucking cheap over there.
Yeah.
No state taxes.
I mean, you do have
See-
options.
See
to
that or
stay in
Texas.
Jersey. Right. Yeah, I mean, like, if you really just want to, like, I don't know, go be a nurse or be a plumber. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Right.
If you just need a job and you need to pay your bills, you
Right.
do have options. There are jobs out there, but
Yeah, there are paying jobs.
I don't want to be a nurse or a plumber.
Yeah.
I'd rather learn how to make video games and teach English online.
Yeah.
And see the world. So I'm gonna get the fuck out.
So we're at in what brought you into that, going to Asia to do ESL? Was it a program that they somebody brought to you that you volunteered for or got hired for? Or?
So the main way that it happened was I had just gotten fired from my cruise ship job.
Okay.
And
that's another story too.
So yes, that is a big story.
Are you teaching ESL on a cruise ship too?
No, I was playing guitar. On the
Iceberg.
I wish that ship had hit an iceberg.
Otro grande frío! Grande frío!
That story, if the fucking ship had hit an
Iceberg.
iceberg, that would have made more sense.
Yeah. Right.
But basically, I was home, and my sister was home from teaching abroad and traveling in Southeast
Right.
Asia. So she had heard about this teaching English online job.
Okay.
She got the job, and then she told me about it, and I was like, I think I'm qualified to do that. She just
I speak English.
Right. Well, you also have to have a degree
Yeah.
and a year of teaching experience.
Okay.
So I was like, hey, I got that. So she sent me the link, took the interview.
So your sister did it also?
Yeah.
Did she went over? Were you guys at around the same area, so you guys could hang out? Did you have somebody to hang out with?
Absolutely. So we actually wound up moving to Thailand.
Thailand.
Right. And living in Chiang Mai. So
All right.
anybody who wants to check out Thailand, yes, do it.
All right.
And Chiang Mai, definitely do Chiang Mai
Right.
because it's an awesome little city.
Well, I always have this thing whenever somebody asks how would an alien planet be, like a civilization on an alien planet in a distant galaxy, and I go, just go to Asia. You'll have the same fucking experience.
Kind of.
It's an alien. It's alien. It's like almost your culture. It's almost the culture here,
Mm-hmm.
but like fucking. It's
a variation.
It's a variation.
Definitely, different dimension, sort of.
That's what I mean.
take on it.
Another dimension.
Okay, so
another
not
planet.
necessarily like really like completely different species or whatever, but like
A civilization that's gotten up to the same level of technology.
Yeah.
You go, if you ever want to wonder what it would be like for your culture in another dimension.
Yeah.
Go to Asia.
Yeah.
It's the exact same thing.
Yeah. You could definitely get that from Thailand. You could get that from Vietnam. I spent some time over there, and I really want to check out like Tokyo.
Like
Because that would be even.
You can't do it with Asia. I mean, with Europe, because it's a lot of white people.
Yeah.
So you can't get the same feel, except for like the
I see what you're saying.
the accent.
Right.
I mean, you
right.
go to Europe and you'll see white people, you'll see black people. It's similar to America.
Yeah,
right?
it's a little too easy to get your bearings.
Yeah, you go to Asia. I mean, even they're it's a different culture. I mean, they love neon lights.
Yeah.
They love like it's like the 80s never left.
Mhm.
Everything's fucking Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Yeah.
And they've got like crazy technology, like soup vending machines and shit like that, and hamburgers you can buy from a vending machine.
Yeah.
So
it's very different. Yeah.
So what was the town again? Thailand. Thailand.
Yeah, and the city is called Chiang Mai.
Chiang Mai.
Right.
Now, did you have to pay to live there, or
absolutely.
did they pay you to live there?
Oh, so
And did they like
here
give you a
is-
per diem or something?
No. The concept was I teach online. So like literally, I probably shouldn't say this on in public or whatever, but like you get a travel visa,
Right.
but then you actually like live there.
I've only got 8 subscribers.
So the idea is
It's my mom too. It's just my mom
your
with
mom,
8 different
the
accounts.
girlfriend and all that, right? But
The girlfriend.
so you get a travel visa,
Right.
when you work online. The concept's called a digital nomad. So you
All
work online and you travel while you do it.
Yeah.
And you get a travel visa, which is good for 3 months.
Right.
And then when
You got to renew it.
right, and what you do is you go on a visa run. You just literally go to the border, cross the border, and reapply to come back in. They basically just let you in, unless.
Does an airport count as a border?
Yeah, but I mean, if you do it you would actually have to like fly out at that point.
Oh shit!
Which I did. My sister and I did a trip to Malaysia and Borneo, like a little vacation.
Right, a
to
break
do the
from
visa
your.
run. Yeah.
Did you have a classroom?
It's all online.
It's all online. So you
Yeah.
go to the country.
Going to the country has nothing to do with the job.
So why did you go to the country?
It's cheap.
All right.
Cheap as
okay.
fuck. Like
So you never met the students or anything like that?
I did meet a couple just because they were traveling to Thailand.
Oh, okay.
And they told me, and so we just like met
I thought
up.
they were from Thailand trying to learn English.
No, my job, the kids are in China.
Okay, so they're in China trying to learn English.
Yeah.
And you were in Thailand.
Just chilling.
Just chilling.
Yeah.
See, in my mind, when I heard you were doing that, in my mind, I would thought you were in the class. I thought you were Robin Williams in fucking Thailand.
Oh, right,
you know,
right.
Oh, Captain, my Captain,
Yeah,
standing
yeah,
on
yeah.
desks
Right.
with all these Asian people
Mhm.
wondering what the fuck you're doing.
No, that was. There are a lot of people who do that, but I just skipped that whole part.
All right, well, that's the end of this interview then.
Yep. Good game. Later. But it's actually interesting in a
Well, you
sense.
spent 7 months in Thailand.
I think it was about 6 months in Thailand, and then I spent 1 month in Vietnam.
And it was totally unnecessary.
Totally yeah. Other than like it gave me a boner, you know,
Right,
like
right.
to just be there.
Just to be there
Yeah.
and be average height.
yes. There you go. That's a very interesting little thing too. I mean, like, I hate to sound victimized. Woe is me, but being short really is like.
I'm short too, man.
Yeah, it's not fun.
No, it's not.
I mean, I got over it.
Yeah.
Obviously, like I can live my life, but it's a real thing.
But
you
they're
know?
little over there. They're
Yeah,
fucking super little over there.
Yep.
So you were like, this is for great, right?
Yeah, I feel like a normal dude.
I can reach everything. So you meet any chicks over there? Or you go to a clubbing? I mean, what's the you buy any Filipino whores?
See,
Meet any lady
question a lot,
boys?
and I like Asian chicks really just aren't my thing.
No,
Most of the time,
they love Americans. Though.
They do.
They fucking love it.
But with only a couple of exceptions, I usually don't go for the Asian chicks.
Really?
Yeah.
I like Asian chicks.
So I would just try to pursue.
My browser history would say different. I
yeah.
love Asian. I love Asian chicks.
Oh well, yeah. It's your turn. You go over there. Come with me.
All right.
I need a travel buddy. That's actually one thing that I've been trying to do.
I'm a partier too, so
Well, there you
I'm
go.
a life of the party.
There you
I'm
go.
a crowd pleaser.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Let's do it.
Oh yeah.
Shots. Shots of Sang Song. That's their local whiskey in Thailand.
Okay.
Yeah.
They got whiskey over there.
Mm.
Shots of Sang
It tastes-
Sang Song.
Sang
Spice
Song.
Town's tastes probably soy saucy.
It tastes like rum.
Oh, it tastes like rum.
Yeah.
So maybe they got them mixed up.
Yeah. They say, or
Maybe
maybe
they're
it's
just
the other
saying
way
it wrong.
around. They say it's their rum, but it tastes like whiskey. I can't remember.
Oh, okay.
Whatever.
Really?
Whatever it is, it's like switched.
Right. Right. Well, how's the food over there?
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually,
Because every time I look at the travel channel and I see like Asian food, it's always suspect.
yeah. I mean, I didn't get too weird with it.
Yeah.
But like just the overall quality, the price, and while I was there, I met some.
Because they're like selling oyster balls and shit.
Yeah, I mean, I did eat a scorpion for fun.
Yeah, like score. They got like they go.
Yeah.
They don't give a shit.
Yeah.
They'll fucking fry. They're like the South. They'll fry anything.
Yeah. But for me, like, unless I'm just having fun, I just stick to a pretty normal kind of thing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, they got how's like hamburgers and stuff like that. Or
Fine.
I
I mean,
they have like American style.
yeah.
I'm sure there's like an
Yeah.
American section. Like they have a Chinatown. Do they have like American Town
Well, it's
where there's
more
like a
um,
KFC and a Burger King
it's
and all that
spread out.
shit?
It's spread throughout the whole. I mean, I spent most of my time in Chiang Mai, which is
Right.
like a very built up.
Okay.
It's like the second biggest city in Thailand. So, and they have like hipster bars. They got the
Right.
vegan places
Okay.
and all that, all of it.
Right.
And there's literally like a 7-Eleven
Right.
within like puking distance.
They're doing
of
pronouns
everything.
over there too now.
They've probably been doing pronouns longer than we have.
He, she pronouns.
Yeah.
I'm a he, she.
Yeah, I
They.
don't even know what their words are, but I think it's just more.
You teach like your teacher.
I'm not. Actually, that is one of the.
Who are you teaching?
I'm teaching Chinese kids.
I know. I don't even know what their language is.
No, seriously, like I don't speak
Is it
Mandarin.
like? Yeah.
It's the concept is like immersion teaching. So
they already have like a kind of grasp of the language. You're just doing the nuances.
it depends. Like I'll teach kids as young
Like
as 3.
Oh, okay.
So a lot of them they're just deer in headlights.
Right.
Know? So I got.
Well, that's the best time to teach anybody is
right.
When you're
they
just
don't know anything.
They don't know
They
fucking
just
anything.
they have to.
They have to learn.
Right. And I'm also not allowed to use Mandarin. So even if I knew it,
Right.
I mean, some teachers get away with using it from time to time, and I think that's appropriate. Like, you really don't understand this, and it's kind of abstract. Like,
Right.
I'm just gonna say a couple words
Is-
to make the bell go off. You
Is
know,
Thailand a country?
Yeah.
It's a country.
Mhm.
Okay. What do they speak Taiwanese or they just speak Chinese?
they speak Thai.
They speak Thai? Okay.
Yep.
Taiwanese. They just Thai.
No, I mean, I wouldn't know that unless I fucking lived there. You know?
Right. Did you go like what's like the touristy thing? I don't even want to do the tourist. I just want to. You went out to bars. It's you and your sister.
Yeah.
In Thailand.
Yeah.
Did you meet friends there?
Absolutely.
You make friends. You got Facebook friends.
That's one of the appeals of going to.
Anybody try to
someplace-
sell a cousin to you?
Nobody did
to
that.
get married.
No,
to go to
none
like
of
here's
that.
$5,000
No.
to marry my cousin so they can be an
Although
American.
I think it's just different than what it used to be. So
Right.
like Thailand used to be like a haven for like criminals.
Really?
Like people would
It's like
just
Australia,
go move,
Australia of Asia.
Right. Like you just move to Thailand, you set up your little shop in the middle of wherever,
Right.
and they just look the other way.
Okay.
But I think they're starting to crack down because everybody knows everything now, right?
Right.
You can't just have your government look
Yeah,
the other
social
way.
media.
Right. But one of the appeals of living in Chiang Mai was there's a huge expat community there. So
What's
I
expat?
expat is a expatriate. So you used to live in America,
Oh,
and
okay.
now you live in another country. You're
Right.
an expat.
Yeah, the dollar goes a little longer.
Hell yeah, it does.
Farther,
Hell
I
yeah.
guess. Yeah.
So there was a huge expat community, and there's a huge travel scene there.
Right.
So like every night, I'm meeting new people, and then I have
You-
regular
you see-
friends and stuff.
Do you
too, so.
get the you know how black people when they're in a all white area and they see another black person, they give them the
Yo,
head
what's
hey,
up?
what's
Oh
up?
yeah,
Hey,
absolutely.
You're black, I'm black. Hey.
Mhm.
So you see an American, you look over and go, yeah, that's not an
Yeah.
American.
Well, it's the expat community there is actually so strong
Right.
that in my building where my sister and I lived, there was probably just as many or more like foreigners than there were
Really?
Thai people.
Americans.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, no, a mix.
it's a mix.
Yeah, people coming from all over.
All right.
A
Like
fair amount of
Europe,
Americans. Yeah,
but they're all
Europe,
speaking English probably.
Europe, Malaysia, India, wherever, you know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. And you guys like hung out?
Yeah.
Anybody interesting? Anybody crazy? Anybody?
Well, I did.
Tell me a
have-
crazy because you're pretty much free to do what you want. You work online, so I guess the hours are very open. Or what? I mean, what were the hours like? You're in Thailand. I'm assuming it's different hours from wherever the other people are, or is it the same hours?
Well, that's another part of the reason why I went over there. So when you're here,
you got to work at night
right, or the morning.
Or
thankfully now I have like a couple of hours,
Or the next
at night
day.
and then a couple hours in the morning,
right?
and that's why I had that scheduling.
Because
just
it's
happened today.
tomorrow. It's yesterday over
It's
there.
tomorrow,
It's tomorrow over there when
Right.
it's today.
right?
Right.
Right. So when if you move over there, you have normal hours.
Right.
So
Yeah.
that was a blessing to be over there and just feel like a normal human being as
Okay.
opposed to working a night shift.
Right.
But crazy stories. I really wish there was something truly crazy. Like
Right.
in my band days, there were way more crazy stories.
Okay, all right.
And you would think going to Thailand, you'd have some crazy stories.
Yeah,
but
because you always hear there's always a crazy story going to Asia. There's
yeah,
always like
I just
lady boy, like crazy. I ran into the
yeah,
something blew up.
no, none of
I
that.
I
Man.
ate a scorpion.
I ate a scorpion. Yeah,
That was the craziest thing. Well, Asia's really calmed down.
yeah, I get, or maybe I have.
Or maybe
I'm
maybe
like,
you're just getting older.
I mean, I tried to go out and have some
Right.
crazy time, but it was just like, no, people.
Your
are just
sister date
partying.
anybody over there while she was?
I think so, but
Right.
we usually don't talk about that stuff with each
Okay,
other.
okay, all right,
So, like, I think I saw a guy
right,
hanging out with her a little bit, but I couldn't
right.
say
You're
for
pretty
sure.
oblivious to it.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Did you just stay in? What's the name of the city again?
Chiang Mai.
Yeah, I cannot remember. Chiang Mai.
Yeah.
Chiang Mai.
Oh, okay. This one was kind of interesting.
Did you go out of the city?
I did. So
Right.
there's this other hippie town called Pi.
Pie.
You're right.
Life of Pie.
Yeah, sure.
Right.
Or eat your mushroom pie.
It's one of those towns.
Yeah,
It's one of those
yeah.
communes that moved over up to northern Oregon.
Or you just they just are okay.
Is it the
A
village?
little bit more okay with doing like the extra fun stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Extra dimensional shit.
right. So there's this bar. I forget. I think it was called like the Sunshine Bar that everybody goes to in Pi, and you order what's called a mushroom shake,
Okay.
and you have to let. It's
This
not on the menu.
This sounds very New Amsterdam.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
So it's not on the menu, but everybody knows. So you just
It's
go
the-
in
oh,
and
it's
you're
the
like,
off menu.
I want the mushroom shake. Wink, wink.
Right.
And they literally have to send a guy somewhere, like on a scooter, and
Right.
he comes back like a half an hour later with your mushroom shake
Shit the fuck
because
outta
they
here.
don't want like the
Do they
cops
give
to
you-
show up
yeah,
and see that.
Right. And they
there's
don't
a
want it
bunch-
on the premise either.
Right, right.
Right.
So I did my mushroom shake
Right.
and went back to my hotel room,
Right.
and the walls are fucking melting, and
Was it
and
just you? You did a solo trip?
I did a solo trip
Right.
because
You didn't know what.
I just wasn't there with anybody.
Okay.
I like
You didn't want to tell your
travel by
sister,
myself,
listen, I'm gonna go get fucking.
which she wasn't.
I'm gonna
with
go
me.
trip
she
out.
wasn't with me either.
Right.
But yeah, I just went back to the hotel room, got really fucking high for
Right.
like an hour or two, and then went out while I was like manageable high.
Oh, yeah. When you're going on the decline.
Yeah, and just
Right.
was like a chatty Cathy for the rest of the night.
That must be crazy. Imagine tripping and completely forgetting you're in Asia and you turn the TV on.
That's exactly what I want. to
That's what I
happen,
mean.
right?
You're just like tripping. You completely lost time, perspective, space. Time and space is completely gone. You think you're in fucking Vineland.
Yeah.
You want a Five Guys or a McDonald's, and
Uh-huh.
you turn the TV on. All of a sudden, there's-
People are eating scorpions.
There's fucking weird ass commercial. Bill Murray's like in a fucking batting
Yeah.
away Asian girls,
right.
selling you vodka.
Mm-hmm. You're watching people try to have sex and they find out it's a lady boy instead of a
Yeah,
real lady. Sorry, not real lady. I don't want to ruffle any feathers.
how's the
but you know what I
TV
mean.
over there? Is it just? Did they have cable?
I didn't watch.
You didn't
TV.
watch any TV?
Nah. I just fucking. That's when I actually started listening to more right wing stuff.
Oh, okay.
Was like just being in my
They have-
apartment by myself and being like, "What is this on YouTube?"
Oh, you got yeah. They have internet. How's the internet over there?
Better than America.
Better than America, I would say.
Clearly better than America, which is sad because it's clearly cheaper than
It's
what we.
probably cheaper. Yeah.
I was paying something like.
Well, you got American money too.
Well, that's true. But I was
Well,
paying something like $15 for
for real?
unlimited. I think it was like, what was it? Like 25 down
Right.
and 12 up, but the ping was amazing.
Right.
And it was steady. You know how like Comcast will just like fuck up
Yeah,
every
fuck
once in
up
a while,
every
and you're just like, that's what people are paying $200 a month for. Like,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Is one of these your Asian phones?
Yes, this is my Oppo phone, which is a Chinese brand. So it was like $300 outright.
Right.
And
Do you have any
function-
pictures?
from what? Asia?
Send me some pictures so I can put them up on the. I'll put them up on the screen.
Oh man, this is gonna take a minute.
No,
Hopefully I can
you can
multitask.
you can put them. You can give them to me later.
Oh, okay, yeah. But
Well, you could look through and just send it to me, and I'll
put it up on the screen later.
Yeah, I'll put it on the screen so you get some perspective.
Yeah. What do you want? Thailand?
Well, yeah,
I'll scroll and chat at the same time, I guess.
yeah, give me a screenshot too. I'll put it up on as a thumbnail of you with your big head there, yelling.
Oh, this one?
Yeah.
Where is it?
I'll put it as a thumbnail for this podcast.
What? Oh, this.
Yeah.
This is me teaching, actually.
Yeah, I'll put that on there. Just send it to me. I'll put that as a thumbnail.
Yeah.
Looks like a good thumbnail.
Yeah.
So you met two of your students. Did they live there or were they just vacationing there?
They were.
Is that a vacation spot for the Chinese?
Yeah, it is.
It's like the Florida of Asia.
Yeah. Because a lot of the Chinese, they're doing well with their economy now.
Yeah.
And Thailand's super
Capitalism
cheap.
rocks.
Yep. And they just go down there.
And they go to Thailand. It's like the Miami.
Yeah. Or
what's
cheaper.
What's the weather like?
It's very hot.
It's hot.
Yeah.
Right.
But I like hot. So
right.
I always used to say I want to move to either Florida or San Diego when I got older. But
right.
I wound up in
Is it
Thailand.
dry hot or is it sweaty hot?
It's I think it's dry if I remember.
Right.
But it's like very, very hot but dry.
Okay.
I guess what, like Arizona or something like
that?
that?
Yeah, all right.
But it was very, very hot, very dry, but I loved it, man. Going outside every day. I'd rather sweat than be cold,
right. Oh yeah. Yeah, I don't
the people are super nice.
That's what I'd rather move to Texas.
Oh yeah.
Than here.
Mm-hmm.
So I lived in Florida for a little bit, so yeah, I liked it. And I was out in California, which the weather was beautiful.
Yeah. What part of California?
I was outside of San Francisco.
Oh, but that's a little on the colder side.
No, I was in the valley.
Oh, okay.
So everything fucking levels down in the valley.
Yeah, San Francisco.
Plus my sinus was great, man. I have a sinus problem when I come up here.
Oh.
It's like I don't know what it is. Yeah, and it's an allergy thing. Every time I go to I'm Mediterranean.
Yeah.
So I'm meant for a Mediterranean climate.
Right.
So I'm not meant for this.
Every time
these fucking pine trees and oak trees.
Yeah.
And if there ain't coconuts in that tree, my fucking sinuses are fucked.
I miss it. Just this past couple of weeks where we switched over for daylight savings or whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's completely changed my mood, my life. Right. I get to sleep an extra hour because China doesn't recognize the
daylight savings.
Right. So literally, I start work an hour later.
Okay.
And that means the sun is already up when I start, which is, it just makes me feel so much better.
I would have stayed in California if it wasn't such a fucking shithole.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit about that. What happened? Why was it such a shithole?
There's homeless people everywhere.
Really?
Everywhere. I couldn't go to Walmart without somebody asking me for something.
Wow.
From my car every fucking time I went to Walmart.
Yeah.
And it was more than one person.
Right.
I would get out of my car and start walking and somebody I already would hear, "Excuse me, sir. Excuse me."
Wow.
"Excuse me, sir. Sir." And after I was ignorant the first couple times, I would turn around, "Hey."
Yeah.
"How can I help you?"
Yeah.
The classic I'm happy to be here because I don't know what the fuck you want.
Right. Yeah.
It's when somebody from the city moves to the country and they're just, "Oh, these fucking deers. These deers are so beautiful." And about 3 months in, you're just somebody's got to shoot these fucking deers.
Yeah, there's too many of them.
Yeah.
That's actually how I wound up getting mugged in Nicaragua last year.
Oh, you got mugged in Nicaragua?
I did.
What were you doing? What were you doing in Nicaragua?
So when I was going back and forth to get my teeth done in Costa Rica, I said, "Fuck it. I'm just going to stay down here." As opposed to flying back and forth.
Right.
Plus, I work online. I like to travel. I might as well see Costa Rica and Nicaragua.
Right.
So somebody recommended this town called San Juan del Sur, which is a resort town for Nicaragua. Nicaragua in general is
why would you go to Nicaragua? That's a fucking dangerous fucking.
Right. Exactly. Well, the thing
is, did you do the what's the bed? The bed, what's it called?
Airbnb?
Airbnb.
No. When I went to
There's
Nicaragua,
no such thing as Airbnb down in Nicaragua.
Oh, no, there is. I think there is.
There is?
I think so.
Yeah, that's a fast way to... What's
to
one of
get
the?
scammed.
Are you a nice person? Is any of your family rich?
Yeah, right.
Are you rich, or any of your family rich?
Can you send money for my Nigerian prince or whatever?
Would they easily give up their money if one of their family members was kidnapped?
Right. So, generally speaking, Nicaragua is a third world country, but this town, San Juan del Sur, is known for being like a nice resort town.
Right,
People go there.
It's the one town where people can. It's probably capitalistic and every.
Right.
I had this conversation last week, with Tom. We were talking about other countries.
Mm-hmm.
I forget what the topic was, but I was like, yeah, a lot of those countries, you have the one city that's normally the capital,
Mm-hmm.
and it's capitalistic, and that's where all the money pulls into, and that's where all the resorts are.
Right.
And you don't dare go out of the. As soon as you get out of that city, the farther away you get, the more third worldish
Yeah.
it becomes.
So in my case, it was like literally if you walk outside of the city center for like 4 minutes,
right,
you're getting mugged.
Oh,
And
4 minutes.
Yeah, no, literally it was like, so the whole reason was somebody recommended that town for the reasons we just went over. And, they're like, oh, it's super safe, nothing to worry about,
Right.
blah, blah, blah. So I get there and I'm like apartment hunting, and I should have known.
Apartment hunting? You wanted to live there?
I was going to live there for 3 or 4 months until going back to Costa Rica and then figure out what I was going to do after that. So like I'm apartment hunting, and it was basically between like these two different places. One was like really nice, a little bit closer to the center of the city.
And the other one had gang tags all over.
But it was just like an extra $100 a month or something. So this other one was like literally like a 5-minute walk but it just, you get that feeling in your gut sometimes, and you're like, this doesn't quite feel right.
Right.
Like this is just a little bit too far out. And then I said to myself,
there's too many black people in this neighborhood. No, I'm just joking. Mexicans.
Too many Nicas. There's too many Nicas.
Is that what they say down there?
They call them Nicas. Yeah.
In Russia, they call them Niger. In Russia.
No. I mean like Nicaraguans.
Oh.
No. No.
Is that what they call black people?
I don't know what they call black people down there.
They literally, that's how they say black people.
Oh,
in Niger.
Oh, Niger.
That's how they fucking say it. I mean, there's no nuance to it.
Right.
It's not,
Oh, and there's not like another word or anything?
It's not another word. It's not like,
right.
That's what they call black people. Not the color black. You know how there's association between the color, you'll say black people, black color, black. Yeah. Not over there.
No.
It's just like, and I the first time I heard it, I was like, whoa, yeah, you can't say that, man. I'm in there.
Too much.
I'm being PC in their country, and they're just looking at me. They're fucking all tattooed, fat, slamming vodka, smoking. They're looking at me.
Like, what are you, pussy?
Neger,
like, that's the word. That's the word.
Yeah. And I asked them, they're like, they say Nigeria because of Nigeria. They associate it with it.
Sure.
But yeah, that's what I said. I was like, yeah, sure.
So
let's just be clear. You're not saying Niger.
No.
You're saying
Nica,
like Nicaraguan.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Exactly.
I just want to all the phonetics.
Oh yeah, of course. Right. Just in case this isn't properly picking up the sounds.
Exactly. Make sure you're enunciating the C in that.
Right.
It's not a G. It's a C. Nica. Nica, as in Nicaraguans, as in the black people of Nicaragua.
No, not even black. Just all the people.
I'm joking.
But so I'm walking, and my gut says, maybe not. But then I tend to say, like, don't freak out. Just you're walking like 4 or 5 minutes.
Yeah, you want to give people the benefit of the doubt.
Right.
That's what I do. Yeah.
And so eventually, I picked this other apartment that's just a little bit outside the city center.
Right.
And I would just walk back and forth, and one night, these guys come up and they ask for directions, like, where can we get a taxi?
Right.
And so I'm, again, giving benefit of the doubt, and that's when, like, they jump me. Yeah.
Did they beat you up?
The one guy picked me up from behind and sort of, like, was semi-choking me out to make sure I wasn't doing anything, and the other guy just
went through your pockets.
Yeah. So it wasn't that big of a deal, but
at least they didn't stab you,
right,
and kill you,
right. Which brings up another interesting point.
Well, they take your license, I guess, and all that stuff.
Yeah, it was the.
At least
just the wallet with the license and the credit card.
At least just take the money. Leave me my fucking identification.
And that was the other frustrating part. It's like, fuck, man. Like, I don't care about the $50 that much. It's like, now I gotta wait at least 2 weeks for the credit cards to come in. I don't have direct access to the rest of
You're
my
in a foreign country with no fucking ID.
And their mail system sucks.
You don't speak the language very good.
You have to literally walk to the post office to get your shit. And it's like, the other part of the reason why I left is at that same point or at that same time frame, their government went to shit. Like, I don't know if you're aware, but basically over this past year, people have been trying to overthrow the government.
Is this a whole Venezuela situation, kind of?
Like, they're calling it the new Venezuela.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So, if I had just gotten mugged because I was walking alone at night, I would have been like, okay, I got to be smarter.
Yeah.
If it was just a little bit of political unrest, I might have stayed. But to get mugged and possibly get mugged because there are extra criminals in the streets, because they're sending their police from San Juan del Sur to Managua, which is their capital, because they're dealing with the political unrest and people trying to overthrow the government. I don't want to deal with all that bullshit. Like, I'm just here to get my teeth done and chill by the beach. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Plus, you're American. I'm sure there's like anti-American sentiment there.
Probably, there's.
There's always a faction of the Americans did this.
Yeah.
The Americans are fucking doing this.
So you don't know who's looking at you the wrong way.
Exactly.
Especially during.
But you're dark hair. I mean, you got dark complexion.
I could pass.
You could pass for a
my
Spanish.
Spanish needs to get better.
Yeah.
And I think that might have been the extra.
My name is Chad.
I think one of the extra reasons is I was actually getting by in Spanish with these criminals.
Right.
And then it got to a point in the conversation where I was just like, I can't keep up. And
¿Dónde está una baño?
And I was just like, sorry, my Spanish isn't that good. And I could see in his eye, like, oh, this is a gringo.
Yeah.
And it was, all right, game on. Like, and that's probably why I got mugged.
Right. All right. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah, like you could pass. You got to, dark.
Overall features.
Overall features. Solof. What is Solof?
It's Polish.
Polish?
I believe.
So you're dark Polish?
Yeah, I'm a dark
Do you ever
Polish.
do the genetic.com or whatever?
It's funny. My sister gave me the 23.
Because you gotta have some you gotta have Mediterranean in you somewhere.
I would have to ask my sister because she did the 23.
Or some Slavic in there.
But for me, it's like I just didn't do it. And I just don't really care that much, honestly. Yeah. Like it's neat. It would be neat to know, but
yeah, you would probably have some Asian in you. Asian,
probably
from Genghis Khan. You probably have like a quarter Genghis Khan in there.
Because I got the little eyes.
Me too.
Yeah. I think, if I remember correctly, I have like English.
That's the gypsy there. The eyes.
Oh, is that what that is?
I have gypsy eyes.
Cool. I think I'm like a little bit of Irish, a little bit of English, some Spanish, Dutch, and Polish.
Yeah, that's probably where you got the Spanish is probably where you get the black,
dark. Yeah. What technically are you?
Spanish, English, Portuguese. I got like Tunisian, Moroccan, Algerian. So that's why I can say nigger.
Yeah.
I do the Elizabeth Warren 124.
And so that allows a free pass.
That allows me to say.
It actually brings up, saying that word. I actually got into a little bit of. I almost got into a fight at the bar.
Right.
Like, I don't know, 4 months ago, because it was a quiet night at the bar.
Right. You said it loud.
Well, I mean, I guess technically I kind of did say it loudly, but to paint the context.
Right.
Somebody put on that DMX song, "What These Bitches Want From."
Yeah. Love
and
DMX.
Like it's all regulars in the bar. We all know each other, and we're just kind of like singing along or whatever. And I say something to I don't even know why I said it. I was just being silly, and I said, "What do these bitches want from us?" And somebody said, and somebody said, "Oh, you should watch the way you say that," kind of like what you said earlier. And I was like, really, dude? Like,
It's
we're
corporate.
chilling in the fucking dive bar, and you're gonna like hound me for like an R or an A sound?
Yeah,
Like,
it's culture. You're culturally appropriating.
right. So then the black guy
Right.
at the end of the bar was like pissed off about something and a little drunk, and
Right.
just like wanted to fight me because
Really,
I'm just like,
it's a fucking
Dude.
song.
yeah, we're all like, this guy gets paid millions of dollars to
Yeah.
like scream this word over and over and over
Yeah.
again, and I make a silly joke that has nothing to do with the actual racist intent of it.
I always do. The line for me is whether or not you're directing it disparagingly at someone. But
It's the way you
if somebody
use it.
says "spick,"
right.
like just in this guy called this guy "spick," or if it's in a song "spick," I don't give
Nobody
two
cares.
fucks.
Or they shouldn't care.
Yeah, if somebody calls me a "spick," that's a different thing because you're
Yeah.
you're being directional.
You might as the difference is like I could literally just say you're a piece of shit,
Yeah,
and that would be worse than just saying the word nigger. Like,
yeah,
it,
exactly. It's
it just amazes me people can't make that differentiation.
yeah. If you're telling a story, because there's the Louis C.K. joke where the newscaster said they said the N word, and he's just say nigger because it's now you're putting that in my head. Now you're making me say it when you're
Right.
saying the N word. Now I go, oh, that's what that word is.
Yeah.
So that's my line always is: are you directing it at somebody personally?
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
Or a group of people personally.
Right.
And that's it. But if you're using it in the contents of a song or in the description of a story
Silly joke.
or a silly joke, I don't give two fucks because it's not intended to be personal
Right.
or it's not intended to be disparaging.
Did you read up on the story of like what happened to the Netflix exec? Do you know
I know the Papa John's guy.
what did he do?
He said people we got to have he said it at a meeting about somebody saying it.
Right.
And
that's basically the same kind of thing with
Yeah.
Netflix.
and people got mad at it, and I was just like, "What?" He's saying it so people.
Don't
He's telling people not to say it disparagingly,
right.
and now he's in trouble
Just
for
for using
for
the
being
word.
against
Right.
people using it disparagingly. But he's not. He wasn't using it disparagingly.
Right.
He's saying it. He's saying, "Don't
He's
use
just
this.
trying to convey the
Don't
idea.
don't use this word on against people." Like I said, like my line is, if you're doing it directly, disparagingly
Right.
towards somebody.
It's almost.
I don't give a
would
fuck. You
be
can say
the same.
Yeah, like
thing. It's
spick is the nigger for Spanish people. So if they're yelling it at me, I got a problem with it.
Right.
If they're telling it in a story, in a joke, or if it's in a song,
Right.
and some fucking German guys yelling, all these bitches gonna get this spick. I'm gonna first off, I'm gonna laugh.
Right.
I'm gonna laugh that he's saying that because he's calling himself a spick. So I'm gonna laugh first. I'm just gonna be like, that's funny as hell.
Yeah.
So then I wouldn't be angry at it. I would fucking laugh at it.
There's not just the way you personally react to it. It's just law. Like the only reason somebody shouldn't be able to do it is like they're threatening or they're inciting a riot or causing a disturbance intentionally, that kind of stuff. Generally the line is, if you don't punch me, like you didn't actually do anything. Like I should be able to use words.
Exactly.
Even
if it's disparaging, you can use them.
You can use the word.
You just can't. You can't threaten somebody
To the
I don't believe
extent of doing it by mistake, like because you just genuinely didn't understand what you were saying. You can't just say you can't say a word. Like you can't take it that far.
Right. Like I said, my line is, if you're directing at somebody, then you have the right to be upset.
Yeah.
If it's not, then you
fucking move on with your
day. It has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with disparaging anybody. It has nothing to do with disparaging a race. Yeah. If you're getting angry at that, your anger issues are about something else, and you're using that to be angry at that person.
Exactly. So.
Yeah.
What else?
Well, we haven't really. We just barely. We've done We've done an hour already.
Wow.
I know it goes by really fast.
Yeah.
So
Well, you're good at it. You've always been good at just
bullshitting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a good bullshit.
Yeah. So when
how long you gonna be in America now?
I don't fucking know.
You don't even know. So you're just a whim. It's just everything's a whim now.
It's
where are you staying at now? You said
I'm at my parents' house.
Okay, where's that?
It's Vineland.
All right.
Yeah,
you said an hour. I thought you were like in Atlantic City or something.
No, the fucking GPS was wrong. I was at MVP, which is only 10 minutes from my parents' house.
You got here, I was still wiping my butt.
I figured.
I was like, you're early.
That's why I tried to text you and let you know. Like, the GPS calculated a half an hour difference from my house to MVP. It's like, did you have me go to Atlantic City first before I come to Woodstown? Like, what's going on? So
I was up late last night too.
Yeah, I was. I was doing St. Patrick's Day last night.
Oh, that's this weekend, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So I was at MVP.
All those mix.
Yeah. I needed
drinking with all those mix.
I needed to have a couple of drinks. Like, when I get into the game development stuff, sometimes you get real frustrated trying to figure out the ones and zeros and all that bullshit.
Irish people don't give two fucks about what you call them.
Yeah.
You ever notice that?
Well, yeah.
And they're one of the most stepped on group of people in the fucking history.
They learned how to take it.
In the history of the world.
Yeah.
Them and the Jewish people.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they really give a fuck either.
Yeah.
I mean, if you call
you just have to learn how to be smarter.
If you call, I guess you call them a kike. That would be like that. Yeah, that's their disparaging.
I mean, like my father's side is Jewish. Like I've been hurled Jewish jokes my whole life. I don't give a fuck.
Yep.
There's the difference is it a funny Jewish joke? Like if it's not, you're just fucking stupid. Like I don't care about your stupid cliche joke I've heard 100 times.
I think kike comes from Jews that helped the Germans or Jews that helped the Nazis. I think that's where that. I think that comes from Jews against other Jews that helped the Germans. I think that's where that.
That's interesting.
I think that's where that comes from. I'm not 100% sure, but I think that's where that comes from.
That would be an interesting thing to Google.
Yeah. Well, I can't use my phone.
Yeah. Well, I don't really care that much about that. But,
now, did you buy this in
Thailand?
In Thailand, so it has a Thailand option. What's their keyboard like? Their keyboard's got to be crazy.
I have no fucking clue.
Because they have like 2,000 characters in their alphabet or something.
I don't know.
Or is that Asian?
How many the Thai language specifically has?
Well,
you could ask my sister.
Well, their language is like what's it called?
It's character based.
Hieroglyphic.
Yeah, sort of like picture more of like a curvy kind of
it's a picture that describes the action rather than a word that describes
Mandarin. I think it's called Hanzi, if I remember correctly. I have to teach the lesson every once in a while, but again, like I don't know.
All your students are failing.
No, actually, if anything, I'm one of the hard ass teachers.
Okay.
I mean, I have a lot of fun in the classroom, but like if you're sucking, like you're gonna know about it.
What are these? What are they learning English for?
I think for me, and I might actually wind up. No, I think they're just a lot of affluent families who are like, you're gonna have some sort of business job, and you're gonna need to know English.
You're gonna learn English,
or there's a very good chance that you're gonna need to learn English. And I think for me, and for any of my friends that are having kids, I'm like, get them to learn Spanish, and Mandarin.
Yeah.
Because
you're gonna need it.
That's
right,
dude. The Chinese could take over at any point.
That's what I've said. When we were in high school, they had Spanish and French.
Yeah,
and I was like, "Why are you even teaching French?"
Well, actually, French actually was the lingua franca, which is the business language of the world for a long time.
Right.
But then it switched. I think it switched to English.
It switched from French to German.
Oh, okay.
And then to English.
Oh, okay.
Because the Russians still teach German.
Really?
As the connected language.
Yeah.
But in Europe, when you go to Europe, everybody speaks English.
Right.
So English is the connected language in there.
So if you live in America, you better learn Spanish because it's just everywhere.
Yeah.
And just from a global standpoint, you might as well learn Mandarin.
Well, there's fucking billion of them.
Right.
Well, there's more than a billion. Most of the population is over there. Mm-hmm. Most of the world's population is in that section
Right.
over there.
Yeah, and then maybe Hindi.
That's too many language, man.
That's what I mean.
You're pressing it on American kids to learn Spanish.
And this is going to sound
And
imperialistic.
they got to stop teaching it in. They got to stop teaching it in high school. Start teaching it in like a kindergarten or first grade.
What, Spanish?
Yeah, they got to.
Yeah, absolutely.
They got to start teaching it.
And they have to treat it more seriously.
Right.
Like when I was growing up, it was like the elective for like the gifted and talented kids. It's like, and so it didn't matter if you passed it or not. So I didn't take it seriously. Like I literally failed tests on purpose because I don't want it.
I had my mom.
I was like a kid.
Yeah, I took Spanish. I had my mom do all my work.
There you go.
Yeah, because she's fluent.
Right, obviously.
But the education system is fucked in this country.
Yeah, they gotta fucking do. They gotta do better.
When you're the first couple grades, you should be learning language and music and responsibility, and that's it.
Yeah.
Don't teach them math until like maybe the second, third grade. They don't need to learn that shit. They're not fucking. They don't need. You can teach them math later on.
Yeah.
But you should teach them something that'll get them to artistically learn.
Yeah.
Like a language or a music to make them think differently.
Yeah, that too.
And teach them responsibility, like cleaning and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah, the basic responsibility. And when you do introduce math, like maybe put it in context of like how you actually pay your bills, like real bills, not like math workbook bill, like bullshit problems that you'll never do.
Well, if
like
you're teaching music, that's math also because you're teaching halves and thirds and quarters.
Well, yeah, but there is a certain amount of because I'm a musician and a music teacher,
and the timing.
There is a bit of math there, but to think
form.
About it too much like math isn't as effective as you might think. It really should be done by like ear and feel.
Yeah.
And then like when you do get into the math, because you have that foundation of knowing how it feels and knowing how it sounds, then introduce the math to get more technical.
It's fractional math. It's not adding or subtracting or division.
Right,
it's just fractional.
Right, relational kind of stuff.
Relational and fractional, right? And
math over time.
Plus with timing.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Well, and that's what I mean. We went out last night, and her cousin just hates me.
Oh, yeah.
She was calling me an asshole, all kinds of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, like, really. Like, I pulled her hair, metaphorically. Online like 3 months ago. I completely forgot about it.
Yeah.
The only reason I even remember is because the old lady fucking told me about it.
Oh, right.
But she's still, I was like, you're still get over it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Who cares? Man?
She's a hardcore leftist. She's like, I told her, I was like, I'm a hippie. I'm a hippie. I smoke weed. I smoke weed. I used to smoke weed. I used to do drugs. I mean, I still do, but I used to too.
Right.
Mitch Hedberg.
Oh, is that what he said? Yeah, okay.
But I'm like, yeah, I'm a hippie. I don't like the government. I like to lay back. I like to relax. I don't give a fuck. I like to do drugs. I used to like to do drugs. And she's like, nah. She started yelling. She's like yelling at me. She thought I was like a hardcore Trump supporter that didn't like gays and stuff like that.
Oh my god!
I'm just like, I started laughing. I couldn't laugh. Her and her sister were fucking yelling at me. Like, you're a fucking scumbag. I like yelling at me in the fucking.
See, that's the thing. Like, I could see how some people might think you're a Trump supporter, but like hating gays, like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Like, you're barking up the wrong fucking tree, bro.
Trump likes fucking. He doesn't. He
doesn't care.
He doesn't care.
He does not care at all.
Well, she's like Bernie supporter, leftist. So I got an argument with her. I think I kind of remember the argument, but forget the argument. But she's like, the world's a patriot. It's a patriotic country. She's hardcore victimhood. She's a victim. She's a victim. Everyone she knows is a victim. Everyone is a victim of something else. There's no personal responsibility.
Right.
So I like to troll. I love to troll those people.
I know you do.
I'm just like, you're a victim. How you're a victim? Like, she'll be like, we got to fight for women's rights, and I'm just like, well, which ones don't you have? And then they'll start yelling at you about something else. It's like the classic. It's the classic misdirection. Like you ask somebody tells you that they're being oppressed, and you ask them, how are you being oppressed? And then they'll bring up something that happened to their race or their group of people 50 years ago.
Right.
And I always go, well, how does that affect you today?
Well, there is a little bit of correlation, I guess you could say, in the sense of like, if an overall community of people were slaves, they couldn't like amass wealth during that time. So there's a little bit of that going on.
I would agree if there wasn't Asians and Indians who make more money and are more wealthy than everyone else.
Yeah, I'm not saying there isn't the opportunity to move up.
That's what I'm saying.
But
I think they're trapped in a victimhood mentality that everyone keeps feeding to them.
Right. The idea is like, okay, maybe we could make some concessions with like reparation, but like minimal,
I don't think so, no.
Maybe minimal. But your point is probably stronger. It's just like, dude, life is what it is. Like you got to do something with it.
Well, the statistics alone doesn't support the argument for their saying that they're being oppressed. It just doesn't support.
Oh yeah. We could.
You have Asians and Indians. Asians, the Japanese were interned in this fucking country in a shorter period of time than in the past than black people.
Right.
And they always bring up Jim Crow and all that. That happened in a corner of the fucking country. Mm-hmm. So does slavery. Slavery happened in a corner of the country. It wasn't prevalent throughout the whole states.
Right.
So you can't say the whole United States did that.
Right.
It was just
there's just too much broad brushing.
Yeah. They broad brush everything, and sometimes it gets so annoying that you're just like I can't fucking deal with it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I got it. I don't know if you saw the post. I don't know if you have the mutual friend, but somebody put up something about white privilege and a story about someone's son getting stuck out in the snow, and she couldn't encourage her son to like break into her own house or do these other typical things that other people might think of, because if a black person is seen breaking into a house, they're going to get the cops called
in the snow with a jacket and hat on that you can't see what color they are.
Right. And I basically said, well, if you're that worried about...
Well, call the cops and tell them my kid's breaking into the house.
Or if you're worried that the cops are going to mistreat you that much, get your phone ready.
Yeah.
Like, and that's not a joke. That's like, I get a little scared about a cop possibly abusing his power and mistreating me. I've heard some stories recently of just any person being mistreated by a cop, giving out bullshit warnings because he was looking for quota crap. You know what I mean? That kind of stuff.
I love the argument that you don't know what it's like. They always tell me you don't know what it's like to try to get a job. I go, my name is fucking Raul Leal. It's not John Smith. Right. All right.
Mm-hmm.
For one thing,
you do look Spanish.
And I do look Spanish.
Right.
And it's not like your resume and your references determine whether or not you're going to get hired, not your fucking name. I'm working.
Well, I mean, it is possible that somebody would discriminate against.
I'm working with. They just hired a guy. They just hired a guy in the new company I started working with. Mm-hmm. He's from Guyana. He's been here for a year, and he's doing fucking technical work.
Right.
So,
like, it happens. You can get a job.
He sounds like fucking Bob Marley.
Right.
It isn't like on an interview. He's, all right, man, I'll do this job good. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's not like the guy's like on the other side of the phone going, well, he sounds like fucking Bob Marley, so I can't hire him.
Right.
He's looking at his resume and going, all right, well,
can you do the work?
Yeah, he's got like 20 years doing this work, so I'm going to hire him. The guy hired me. My name is Bob Smith. Mm-hmm. The guy hired the Guyana guy. And we're making like $35 an hour.
Yeah.
So it's not like they're not hiring, you know what I mean?
But you might be broad brushing too. It is possible that an employer will discriminate.
My 20 some odd years of working, I've worked with all kinds of people. Mm-hmm. I've not worked in a spot where it was just all white people and that's it.
Right. Sure.
It's always been a mix. There's been a majority of white people, but that's just the percentage of the country. There's a lot of white people.
Yeah.
Most things shit's going to be white.
Right.
So the majority is going to be white because it's just on average.
Yeah.
Just by percentage wise, you're going to have more white people or white looking.
This is one of the main points that I've heard from Ben Shapiro that I actually agree with a lot is I'm sure there are cases of discrimination going on.
Yeah, I'm not saying there isn't.
So when it happens, get your fucking phone ready, call a lawyer, and actually fight it. You know what I mean? Because that piece of shit needs to go down.
My problem is, I'm not saying there isn't. My problem is they're making a shadow into a mountain.
Fair enough.
It's not like they'll point out like Nazis in America. I was like, yeah, there's Nazis in America. And they have zero political power.
Right.
And there's about 500 of them. And they all live in one spot and they're all fucking each other.
Right. So, like, don't live there.
Yeah, don't live there.
Right. How the fuck do we get on that?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I get sometimes I get frustrated with because it's her sister is she's like, hey, I was like, she's talking about Jill Stein.
Yeah.
I was like, I like Jill Stein. I promoted Jill Stein until I found out she was crazy.
Yeah. I think that's another part of the growing pains we're going through as a species. You know, you think you really like somebody, and then you find out some bullshit, and you're like, oh God, can I even like trust this person anymore? And then you start to realize like everybody has their own fucking past and their skeletons and all that kind of shit, and you're like, fuck, I really have to pick my battles about like who's really acting like a piece of shit,
right?
Or who actually is a piece of shit, and who just like had to make some tough calls in their life or made a couple mistakes.
You know what's funny? Her husband like loved me.
Oh
he
yeah.
gave me his number. He's like, I asked him if he's gonna want to be on the show.
Yeah. Awesome.
Like he was, I hope they don't watch it. But her husband was just like, he's like, I can't do it, but I'm gonna live through you.
Yeah. Actually, I think that's one of the reasons why I wanted to come down here is because I know you're one of those guys who you just don't care. You're just gonna say what you're gonna say.
I'm principled. That's it. I'm not gonna sit there and fucking apologize for it.
I try to be as much as I can, but I've gotten in trouble a few times. So I do try to pick my battles. Like one of the reasons why I got fired from the cruise ship is because I talk like you sometimes. You know what I mean? Like,
well, I don't do it at work.
Yeah, well,
that's my line.
That's the thing.
I'm trying to make money.
Well, yeah, but the thing was, like, my situation was so loosely based on just speaking my mind.
Okay.
So, like, basically, on the cruise ship, it's like a half military style life. You know, it's like you got to do what you got to do on time.
Yeah, it's a half-ass military.
Right.
That's why they wear outfits, but they're all white. They wear uniform. I mean, they wear uniforms with the fucking.
Yeah, they do.
With fucking their
badges
with
or
rankings,
or whatever,
with
ranks and all that kind of crap. So basically, what happened was I was playing guitar in the orchestra in the theater.
Okay.
And we had this show where a girl got hurt, and there was a big back and forth between like the upper management and the theater director, or the theater manager, I guess you could say, and about whether or not they should include that part of the show. You know, the theater manager said it's just not safe to do that, and you know, upper management is like, like shit happens. It was an accident. Right. It shouldn't happen again. You'll be more aware next time. And I get that, but they were going back and forth, and the theater manager was telling me about it at lunch one day.
Right.
And so I said, I like appreciated that he was sticking up for safety.
Right.
You know, and later in the year, or actually it was only like a month later, we get these forms to nominate somebody who you think should be like employee of the year. Okay. And so I nominate this theater manager, and I'm not really thinking about it that much. It's just like some stupid form filling out.
Right.
Do I really care about employee of the year? And so I just fill it out because I have to and hand it in or whatever. Right. And so I write, nominate the theater manager for keeping safety as his number one priority, right, even when the captain is suggesting something unsafe.
Right.
So they read that, and they're thinking like I'm trying to accuse the captain.
So dissidents.
Right. And I'm like, oh, God, Jesus Christ, are you kidding me? Right. So that was the final straw.
All right.
And they wound up firing me for no reason, like the official reason, because I think they know that if they use that as the official reason, I could probably sue them.
Right.
Like, because safety first.
Safety first, right?
Right. It's like, you fucking cowards. Like, you couldn't just, like, call me into the office and just say, this is, like, it's a back and forth.
Right.
It's a discussion.
You should have just bring it in and just listen. I don't even give a fuck about Employee of the Year.
Yeah.
I don't even care.
And I said that to them. And it was like,
I was like, I don't care.
Yeah.
You want me to put somebody else's name on? I'll fucking put somebody. It's not fucking.
Right.
It's not a big deal. I'm not dying on the hill.
Right.
For who gets to have their picture framed
right.
on the
Like,
fucking on a wall.
And it wound up being like I couldn't even technically nominate that guy because of like the rules of it. Like he's upper management, so like it would be like favoritism or something like that.
Okay.
And it was just like, so what are we even talking about right now? Like what is the problem?
How long did you do that? The cruise ship. How's that? Where did you guys cruise to? Was it a Caribbean thing?
Yeah, that was a Royal Caribbean ship in the Caribbean.
All right.
I had done.
How much E. coli did you guys get?
There is, they treat that shit very serious.
There's like
the GI. Yeah.
There's like every couple months there's like a cruise ship that's just plagued with E. coli.
Well, you're
somebody
in a
wiping,
little incubator.
Somebody
right?
wiping their ass and fucking tossing salads.
Yeah.
Not washing their hands and tossing salad.
We had I think like a 2-week stint where it was like you go into like high alert mode because they track how many people get sick. So there was like a stomach bug that broke out.
Right.
And I don't know, something like 7 to 10 people got sick in the course of a day.
Right.
So we had to like literally clean everything twice a day.
Oh.
We were like in the theater wiping every seat, every table, all the instruments, all the like just anything that people touch.
Fucking Purell. Hand out little bottles of Purell to everyone.
Twice a day.
Wash, clean. Keep your fucking hands clean. Don't touch your eyes or mouth.
Yeah, and then go to the
because that's how it spread. These fucking people touch their mouth, or they touch their eyes after they fucking touch something that's infected.
And then I would have to pull extra duty in the dining halls.
Everybody was doing a lot of.
I was pulling extra duty out of my mouth and just or out of my butt and throwing it at people like a monkey.
Going out for both ways.
Yeah,
it's coming out both ways.
But just extra.
How long did you do that for?
I did it for about 7 or 9 months.
Damn! Out on the open, fucking. Was it one or did you have breaks to come back?
I chose not to take a break.
Oh, you can choose not to take a break?
Yeah, I don't know.
They give you like
no reason to be back home.
They give you like does everybody cooped up in the same area? Like all the how is it segmented? Like the crew?
You mean so there's like a lower deck
where you sleep and all that shit.
Yeah, so the crew sleeps like on the.
So you don't have window. You don't get windows.
I did not have a window.
You guys are above below water line, right?
I don't think so. Decks. I just think our cabins were shitty. You know.
Oh, okay. How many people to a room?
2.
Oh, so you had to
share
share
in
a
room? Really little shitty cabin.
Was it what's it called? Unisex, or did you have to? It was just guy, girl.
Mostly guy, but you can like if you get in a relationship, you can apply.
Oh, really?
Like, to stay with your girlfriend or boyfriend,
or
if you come on as boyfriend and girlfriend, or come on as man and wife.
I can imagine people couple up quick just to fucking get their own.
It's kind of a
own room.
It's a little you could couple up or for that reason, or just
I rather
people want to have sex.
How big are those rooms? About the size of this room?
Yeah, maybe a little bit smaller.
And you get like bunk beds.
Yep.
So they fucking pull down from the wall.
Not even.
No,
they're just on the wall and.
It's fucking prison.
Yep.
Prison cell.
Basically,
they called them you guys probably joking around. Probably called them prison cells.
We would call the actual ship a floating prison.
Floating prison.
Yep.
Well, how was the bathrooms? Was it
small?
Was it in the room?
Yep.
Oh my god, the size of this room.
Yep. So there would be like the bathroom would be like that corner.
Right. With the shower head, it would be a shower and a toilet in one, right?
Oh yeah, and you would creep out of the shower to get to the sink, you know.
Yeah.
But and the water situation, like I was on an older ship, that was about to get renovated, so the pipes were always just like not working. Shit.
So it was hot, cold, or something.
That or just no water today.
No water.
We're gonna figure it out. Kind of like Nicaragua. No water today. You're just gonna be a filthy piece of shit for the next day or two.
So you could probably like shit and shower at the same time. And probably had fucking situation.
You probably could.
That sucks.
Have your butt on the toilet and your head in the shower.
Especially if there's an E. coli or somebody that's just generally a stinky. You know how some people have fucking just nasty shits.
I got lucky with that.
And it's you're in a small fucking room with somebody who stinks up the bathroom. So as soon as they open that fucking door, the whole fucking thing just stinks.
Luckily, my roommates were not that bad. Actually, my last roommate was a snorer, and that sucked. That sucked a big fat dick. He was an Indian guy,
right?
And
they have nasty shits.
Well, he was fine as far as that was concerned, but like he had recently broken up with his girlfriend when he got on the ship.
Jesus Christ.
And he would like come into the fucking room at like 3:00 in the morning, drunk as hell, and like call his fucking ex-girlfriend and be like, "I love you, please."
Oh, so you got cell service out there?
No, he would just call. You have a phone on the ship, and I guess that the whole ship goes to a cell.
One big antenna?
Yeah, I guess, or something like that. So he would call on a calling card to his ex-girlfriend and just be like, "I love you, please." Oh, God. Like,
while you're trying to sleep?
Yeah, you piece of shit. What are you doing, man?
Have some fucking courtesy.
Yeah, just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Yeah, I roomed with I was doing line work, and I roomed with a new guy came on. And they were all Brazilian. Not Brazilian. Yeah, they were all Brazilian.
Mm-hmm.
They barely spoke English.
Yeah.
And there was one guy who...
Chupa mi pau.
Yeah.
You know that one?
What?
That's suck my dick in Portuguese.
No, they taught me go fuck yourself. But I would do it. I asked one guy. There was one guy who spoke a little bit of English. Yeah. One guy. And I asked him how to say go fuck yourself. Right? So he tells me how go fuck yourself. And then I would go to the other Brazilian guy and I tell him to go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
And he'd be like, what? He goes, yeah, good night, right? Good night. Good night, right? And I'd point to the other guy.
Yes.
I'd point to the other guy and be like, good night, right? Good night? Good. And I'd tell him to go fuck himself.
Yeah.
And the guy would start cracking up and the other guy would be like, no.
Jesus Christ.
No, Jesus Christ. That's not good night.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, so I had one guy. He was fucking talking on the phone with his girl, and we were in the same room. I'm sitting there trying to. I was like, dude, go out in the hallway.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, you're being rude.
Yeah.
You can't fucking. I can't sleep if somebody's sitting there fucking talking.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, go out in the lobby, or go in the hallway, or go down the lobby, or take a walk if you're gonna talk to your girl for like an hour while I'm trying to sleep. And then I bunked with another guy, nice guy. And then the Guyana guy came in. I'm bunking with him. But I kind of learned now I just put earplugs in and just blast campfire thunder, thunderstorms and fucking rain, like melodies. And I'll put earplugs in and I'll just fucking go to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
So it's gotten easier. I was thinking about actually doing it here.
Yeah.
Well, when we go to bed, we go on YouTube and we just put campfire on the TV. So it's background.
Yeah.
It's easy.
When I was younger, I used to listen to like Pink Floyd or whatever. But
Dark Side of the...
Yeah, literally. But after a while, I just can't sleep with noise anymore. I'm just too light asleep.
Is that if you line up a certain time?
I hope so.
With the Wizard of Oz?
I hope so.
Is that fucking true, or is that one of those old wise tales?
I'm gonna go back to Thailand, drink another mushroom shake and try see what happens.
Well, everything lines up on a fucking
or nothing lines up.
Or nothing lines up. Yeah, exactly. And then the interdimensional beings tell you.
Yeah.
Joe Rogan always does that with the DMT. A lot of people say that if you take DMT or ayahuasca, you're entering into a different dimension, a particle dimension, where these
I don't know about all
geometric.
that.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird.
I think it helps you think better. And it can help provide that like meditative zen-like escape where you're just like, if you're frustrated for a while and you need a way to fucking just chill and like recenter your body. I think it's really good for that.
It doesn't work on me.
No,
I've tried mushrooms. I've tried dabs.
Man.
There's
you are missing.
I
out,
know.
buddy.
There's like 2% of the population. I'm in that 2%.
Where
it doesn't affect me.
Oh, that sucks, man.
I have a different chemical makeup where it doesn't. I can't. It don't affect me at all.
Man,
so
I really feel bad. Like, I'm trying to think. Have you ever tried meditation? No, because you like literally when I was in college,
right?
I would meditate for something like 45 minutes a day, and if you're good about it,
right,
you start to feel like that regularly.
Well, okay.
And it was to the point where I was like, "Holy crap! Like my life is just clearly better now."
Well, I was gonna do I wanted to do an isolation tank.
I want to do that.
Like
too,
smoke weed and then go in there.
Hell yeah.
But I've done acid. The dabs, and I've done mushrooms, and
it just doesn't do it.
I've been in a room where people are freaking out, looking at their hands and shit, and going. And I'm just sitting there going, "Is it gonna happen? Is it gonna?" And I'm just sitting there for an hour going, "Fuck! Nothing's happening."
Damn, fuck.
All
that money.
Everything's the same.
Yeah.
Did I get the wrong? And I'm getting.
Did I get the placebo?
Yeah, I'm getting the placebo, and I'm getting mad. I'm just like, that guy gave everyone the right stuff. And he skimped out.
Mm-hmm. Man, yeah, you definitely got to either try the meditation or the ISO tank. Because it really, that feeling is it's so cool.
I got a feeling the ISO tank, what I would do, that would affect me. Because I have a wandering mind.
Yeah.
So if I get into a room where all the feeling and all the sound and everything is gone, I'm just looking into the just pitch blackness, I can tell that my mind would just make a tapestry in front of me.
Yeah, actually, that's one of the things. Like when I used to be real young, I would just close my eyes and I can kind of see these. I guess they're like light fragments just coming in. So like I call them like red and blue dots.
Yeah, I do that too.
The red and blue dots just sort of like make a cartoon kind of thing.
Yeah, I would do that too, or just almost open them up, like squint them out till barely your eyelashes or you can't make any figures out, but light is still coming through.
Right. And then the whole idea of meditation is just to get in that spot and where you're not consciously making the movie, like you're not being a director, but whatever your subconscious mind is doing is the director.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Just let my mind go where it wants to go.
Yeah.
That's why I say I think an isolation tank would definitely have an experience in that.
Yeah.
But as far as chemically, it doesn't.
Oh yeah,
it doesn't.
Chemically is just like the quick,
unless it's
cheat code.
Unless it's weed, that's about it.
Well, yeah, that helps too.
So I would have to
an edible.
Yeah, that's
the right amount of edible.
I was just about to say I'd have to ingest it too.
Yeah.
To get a more psychotropic.
But just like Rogan says, you gotta. They gotta be better about the dosages on those things. Like, can you just like figure out what an appropriate dosage would be?
I always say this whenever anybody asks me about California. I go, the weather and the weed is great.
Yeah,
and that's as far as it goes.
Yeah,
but the weed is great out there. I went to a dispensary. I had to go online to a doctor and do a FaceTime with the doctor.
To what, get your script?
Yeah, this was before they fully legalized. This is you still needed a medical card.
Mm-hmm.
And I was on FaceTime. He's like, what's your problem? I go, I'm having trouble sleeping. He's like, okay. That was like the extent of the examination.
Go through the motions.
Yeah, exactly. He's sitting there. He's just, all right. It wasn't even a front view.
He's watching Chatterbait on the one phone.
Yeah, exactly. He's on
talking to you at the same time.
He's on Tinder. It wasn't even a front view. It was just a profile of the doctor, not even looking at me.
Yeah,
he's like playing video games. Nice. All right. So yeah, I went in and it was my first time in the dispensary, and I was like a kid and fucking first time in Disneyland. It was just like the best experience because I have we grew up in Jersey, so it's just a lineage of shady dudes, in parking lots or a friend of a friend.
Yeah.
So and it's never. You just ask if they have something. There isn't a fucking list. They don't give you a list of what you would like. It's whatever they have. You're gonna get and you're gonna pay fucking money for.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's good shit. Sometimes it's bad shit, and you have to weed through the guys
Pardon the pun.
weed through the guy, pardon the pun, to get something that's actually decent or good, and then you kind of stick with that guy.
Yeah.
Until he gets arrested. But in the dispenser, so this is my first time where the choice was on. I had the power of choice. So I went in there. I had my card. I had to give my license to the secretary. They had a security guard, right, with a he had a gun and everything. He's a nice guy. We were talking. Every time I go in there, we talk Star Wars and
nice,
Marvel. And
I got a guy.
I got a guy. He's a security guy.
Yeah.
And then I went in and it's like fucking deli style. It's like there's a display, and they have this side was edibles, and in the middle was just regular nuggets.
Yeah.
And then on all the way to the right were the oils and the waxes. I never did the oils. I did a wax one time.
I haven't done a wax yet.
My roommate, I rented a room now. It was in
I don't think I have.
It was a house, business house.
Yeah.
So it was a big house with like 6 rooms, and everybody in there was a transient who just came in to do business and then fucking leave. And one of the roommates, he had a fucking setup. He had like a bong, he was like it was a cheat. He looked like he was a fucking retailer. So he gave me he let me try the wax. And I fucking hit it, dude. And it was just knockout, bro.
Yeah, like immediately.
Just
like
immediate. Yeah, just immediate. It hit me right in the head. And I talked to him for a little bit, and I was just like, dude, I got to go back to my room and fucking contemplate about the universe for about a stare. I have to go stare at my ceiling.
Yeah.
For
that shit can be dangerous, man.
Yeah.
Like the pens or whatever, and the oils and shit. Like, for anybody who doesn't know, the first time you do that, like take a hit and wait. Just fucking wait. Because it can hit quickly, but it doesn't always.
No.
And if you wind up
there's a delay
2 or
on
3
there.
hits, like I was at a friend's house watching football not too long ago, and he had one of the other friends had a pen,
right,
and I wound up taking like 3 or 4 hits, and I literally thought I was going to lose my mind.
It's the new thing around here.
Yeah,
everyone does the pens.
Yeah, but it's hit hard. Like people, if you don't know and you're about to experiment, take a hit and wait.
Well, I understand why too. It's very inconspicuous. I mean, you can't.
It's economical too.
It's economical. It's it's super inconspicuous because you don't know if it's
like just regular vape.
If it's just regular nicotine or if it's like you'd have to have a suspicion in order to be. Then they have to take that and they have to go to a fucking chemical guy and it isn't like a fucking nugget where you can just go, oh yeah, that's weed.
Right.
So I understand why.
It's a great idea. You just got to get these dosages a little bit better,
Everyone I know now that I used to smoke with, they all do pens. Everyone does pen. Nobody does it the old school wooden. Back in the day, it was a wooden match, and a fucking bowl, old school,
aluminum. God damn it,
an apple or or a fucking soda can.
Yeah,
but everyone does the pens now. So and I completely understand why.
Yeah,
because it's easy.
Makes sense.
It's convenient.
Yeah.
I don't know about the prices. I haven't.
No.
I haven't smoked in like a long time.
I still use a vaporizer. It's just I gotta clean it. I think it just doesn't hit very well anymore.
I have a pipe somewhere. From back in the day. I don't smoke anymore. I haven't done it in a long time. I haven't done it since I've been to California.
Yeah. What I like is just every once in a while getting a little bit so that when I want to fall asleep, or if I'm having like a day where I have a headache or something, or just a treat every once in a while,
right?
Like a Sunday thing.
You want to zone out and play video games, and just it's your meditation Zen Buddhist moment.
Just I've been working too hard all week, and I just want a day where I can just goof off and get high. You know what I mean? But yeah, the
dispenser is great. Like I walk in there. And I didn't do the wax. I didn't do the oils. I bought an edible just for the experience. Let me see, the bucket list. Let me see how it does, how it feels. But I just got nuggets, and they in the back behind there was a board, and it would list all the different strains. and the percentage of THC, the potency, and what kind of strain they were, if they were a hybrid or an indica or a sativa.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got what was it called? OG Kush.
Mm-hmm.
I got an OG Kush of it. I got like $50 worth, and I bought like a brownie, or I think it was a brownie and a chocolate.
Yeah.
Good.
How was the brownie?
I ate the brownie, and like I ate the brownie. Like I ate half the brownie because I was worried the same way. I don't want to eat this whole fucking brownie. Yep. And then I'm in the middle of the highway in my underwear with a fucking broomstick, like I'm a Jedi.
Yeah, like you're having
pretending I'm a Jedi.
Ambient spell where you're just like you turn into a different creature.
Yeah, I'm in my tighty whities, fucking just with a broom.
Yeah,
but yeah, so I took half the brownie, and I was just like, well, this is gonna take a while to fucking digest and have the effects. So I took a brownie, and then I took a hit, and then I started playing video games, and like I didn't really, and then all of a sudden, like, yeah, like a half hour like passed by. Felt like 5 hours.
Yeah,
half hour passed by, and I was like, this. As soon as I was like, well, this isn't doing anything. As soon as I said that, I was just like, I sunk into the bed.
Yeah,
and I was just like,
holy shit!
All right, and then I just spaced out for I don't know an hour or two. I played video games. I just played a couple video games, and that was it.
Yeah.
But, you know.
That reminds me of a long time ago, my family went to visit my sister in Amsterdam because she was studying abroad over there.
Right.
And my sister and I and my mom decided to get the space cake.
A space cake?
Yeah, that's what they call it over there. And we went into the one coffee shop. They sell them in coffee shops over there.
Yeah, I've been there.
Oh, okay, yeah. So
Mother's Milk and what was the other one? Did they have the Pink Floyd one?
I don't fucking know what they're called. Yeah, it was so long ago. But we got the space cake, and we each had like a half a piece.
Right.
And we waited like the hour, like everybody said, and it just like didn't do anything.
Right.
So, and it was like the first time I'd ever done like an edible.
Right.
And my mom and my sister. So, we went and did that, and then we went to another one because we were like, well, it didn't do anything. So we went, and then my sister and I both had like a piece and a half at this other place, which was not the right decision.
So you double it down on dosage.
Right, we doubled down because we're like, oh, this is fucking dumb. Like, we want to get high, you know?
This is so overrated.
Yeah. So we each have a piece and a half, and we go back to my sister's apartment. We turn on
she lived there?
Yeah. Right. And we turn on Dutch TV, and it really fucking
starts fucking hit you.
We got ridiculously high, laughing at Dutch TV for like maybe 20 minutes, and then we passed out.
Right.
Because we were so high. And we had a cycle all night,
right,
of pass out for an hour, wake up, cry laughing at the TV, pass out, wake up, cry laughing, pass out. And then like it became morning time, and she's like, I have to go on a school trip. So she leaves me at her apartment.
Right. And you're still feeling it. And she must be. She's on a fucking trip.
On a trip. I didn't
Two trips. She's on a trip in reality and a trip in the sub-dimension.
Yes. And I'm on the other side of fucking Amsterdam's the city, right?
Right.
Yeah. And
it's a little.
Yeah, the little city. So I'm on one side of Amsterdam. I don't really know where I am, and I have to get back to the hotel. And
there's no real. You gotta go on a boat to go from.
No, I was able to walk.
There's little side streets.
Yeah, I was able to walk, but it was just kind of like I don't know where I am. All the street signs are in fucking Dutch.
Yeah.
Like what the hell? And I literally somehow in my mind just put the pieces together and found the hotel. It's like, holy crap. It's amazing what you can do when you really have to do it.
Yeah. Just following the sun, east, west.
Yeah.
You're doing fucking... Ugh.
You start walking around the city and you're just like, I think I remember that landmark from...
You're making a sundial out of rocks on the street. You're just like, all right, the sun's going this way. This is east. Yeah. This is west.
I impressed myself with that one.
I went over there. I was in Amsterdam. And I flew in. Well, no. I flew into Russia and then went over there. So I took the train in, right? So I went from Poland to Amsterdam. And I got it. I go straight to a coffee shop, right? And I get my, because I wanted to do it right away.
Yeah.
So I went in, I got a fucking milkshake at this place called Mother's Milk.
Yeah.
It was vanilla milkshake and it had shit in it.
Mm-hmm.
And I fucking drank it and drank it. I'm just like, fucking, I'm chilling out on the outside, right? And I'm like, this isn't fucking, and I started feeling it. And then this couple started arguing. They were behind me. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if you know Dutch, right?
I mean, I don't know it.
You've heard it.
I've heard it plenty of times.
It sounds like somebody speaking English backwards.
Yeah.
So I haven't heard Dutch yet. And this couple starts fucking arguing behind me. And I don't know if I'm...
And that's when it starts to kick in.
I don't know. I started getting... I didn't know I was stoned. And you know what I mean? It just...
So it's like this weird coincidence of weirdness.
Yeah, so the world starts going... And these couple starts fucking arguing behind me.
Oh,
and it sounds like English backwards.
It already sounds that way. And then you're high. Oh, God.
Yeah, so they're going... And I'm just like... Holy shit, I'm so fucked up.
That's great, man.
So I got up. I already had a place to stay. So I went there and I'm just fucking, the world just is a blur on the side.
Mm-hmm.
And I finally I crashed in. I had to check in. And I could tell the lady knew I was just fucked up at the counter. I was just like, I'm trying to, when you're like super high, every motion feels calculated.
Every motion feels calculated, and you feel like that's not necessarily paranoid, but
it's not normal.
They know.
You're in slow mo. Yeah, right. You're in. It feels calculated. You're just like,
but they don't
do this normal.
Yeah.
And you're just so fucking slow.
Yeah.
She's like handing me the pen. She's handing me the pen to fucking sign in. I'm just going.
Everyone knows.
And they're just used to it over there. So she's just like very nice. And they all speak English over there. So which is easy. They speak American. They love American culture over there in Amsterdam.
Same thing with the Chinese.
Same thing, probably with the Chinese.
That's why specifically they look for Americans to teach them English. They just love the culture. I think they just like the way Americans. Maybe it's just the culture because it's like America's so popular.
We're Rome. So.
Oh right.
All roads lead to Rome.
Yeah.
It was literally back then, but it was culturally also.
Right.
Everybody wanted to be Roman.
Right.
So they wanted the baths. They wanted the lifestyle.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing. Everybody likes Madonna.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody listens to Madonna.
Right.
All right, we got like 8 minutes left, so we're gonna wrap up.
Okay.
We did about 2 hours.
Wow.
It went quick.
It did go pretty quick.
So you want to end on anything? You had any? I mean, we didn't talk about. I'd love to have you back on to talk about your band days.
Oh yeah, band days. The game development's pretty interesting.
And the game development stuff.
Yeah.
If you want to save that for like next time.
Yeah, sure.
You want to come back on or?
Yeah. This is fun.
Yeah, it was pretty fun, right?
Yeah.
It's okay.
Do you have like a way you can do this like via Skype or something?
I don't like to do it.
Oh, you don't like to do it?
I like have somebody across the table.
No, I mean I get it. It's definitely more natural that way.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking like in the future I just might be traveling or something.
It's the cat ears. I need cats. Somebody have
you
cat
have to look at me like I'm a cartoon.
It's disarming.
Like I'm not even real.
It's easy. No, you're a real man.
I'm a cat. Actually, while I'm teaching, I use this software that it's called ManyCam. It's a great little program, but you can do like a bunch of filters,
right?
And, like face
like
stuff.
Snapchat kind of thing.
Right. So I always do the cat face for the kids. Like there's several lessons where you're talking about cats or whatever.
Right.
Especially for a new kid who hasn't seen it before, and you're just like, what is it? Like? Oh, we sing "Old MacDonald Had a Farm."
Is that how you teach them through song?
Sometimes
right.
There's some songs
with the young kids.
Yeah, and there was
3 years old. Did they
with a meow meow here and a meow meow there, and then as I'm doing it, I put the cat face on, and I'm just like.
3 years old. It's probably hard to keep their attention. I guess.
Yeah, a lot of times their mom is just
right
holding
there,
them,
just holding them,
reinforcing,
right.
repeating. I actually prefer it that way. Like any new student and anybody who's probably younger than like 8,
right.
just because they call it the Suzuki method in music, where it's just the mom or the dad or whoever just also knows what is going on in the lessons, like because they're sitting through it.
They can reinforce it.
And then when they go home, they can practice.
Right.
You
Together.
know? And their mom, they actually know what the fuck is going on. Right. So I think there's a lot to be said with that. Even just in American education, like we hinted at it before. It's like, get the parents a little bit more fucking involved so that they, you know, not everybody's mom or dad is a mathematician and can just help with the algebra homework. You know what I mean? Like,
we barely touched on the education, but I think they ruined it. I don't even know where to begin. I think it's outdated.
Very outdated.
As soon as the internet came out, I mean, it's an outdated method. You got to change it up. It's got to change up.
I've had this conversation several times, and like for me, learning the game development, am I going to go back to college? Like no. Also, 1,000 tutorials online.
Yeah, that's also the method of hiring teachers is outdated. The method of teaching teachers is outdated.
Oh yeah,
I don't think you have to go to college anymore to be a teacher. The only reason you went to college is to gain that information.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because that's the only place the information was.
Yeah.
But you don't need that anymore. You don't need a degree. All you need is an aptitude and a desire to do it.
Right.
So
and just sit in a room with somebody for a couple weeks.
For a year or two to learn how to do it. Like a trade. Like a trade, basically.
Yeah. For me, tutoring with the company I'm at now, like it was literally less than 2 weeks. Like, here's the workbook.
Yeah.
And here are like the 10 things you basically need to do in the classroom.
Right.
Go fucking do it and calibrate as you go.
That's why I always have a problem with the teachers union. The teachers union, it's the worst union because they use the kids. They never want change. They always say they want change, but anytime somebody suggests any change, they say no.
Oh, okay.
And then they use the kids to say we're here for the kids to get more money.
Oh,
it's always about more money. It's never about we need to change the shit. Because anytime you say, well, let's have school choice, they say no.
Right.
Let's do this, they say no. It's always we want change, but then when you make any suggestions to them, they say no, unless it's to get a raise. So how I would change the school system. First off, I would just do school choice.
Yeah.
And
I mean that's just basic.
Yeah.
Concept.
School choice, and I would cut government out of it. The federal government out of it, and let schools succeed and fail on their own successes and merits. What works, what doesn't work, and let the market situate itself out. The schools that fail, they can start adopting the techniques of the schools that are succeeding.
I think there's a common thread. It's like broad brushing, like we were talking about before. It's like you can't just give a standard curriculum to everyone and expect every teacher to adapt to it in every different classroom size. And you gotta let them go with the flow, like see what the actual texture of the situation is and adapt to it.
And also, they refuse to let go the failures of the past. They refuse to let go. Like they'll never accept anyone that doesn't have a degree.
Oh, right.
To teach. Right. So they'll never let that go. This teachers union. Their motto would be, well, I had to do that, so they have to do that. So instead of being flexible and changing and adapting, they refuse to do that.
Right.
So
there is something to be said about it, though, right? Like, dude, I spent $50,000 on my degree. Like, well, what was the point? Where's my reimbursement?
Exactly.
You know.
And now you have these people. You're hiring these people that are right out of high school, and all you're doing is giving an aptitude test and training for a year or two.
Well, but fuck that. You got to trim the fat, right?
Fuck that. They got to go and get a fucking $60,000 fucking degree that they have to pay off for the rest of their lives. Right. They're the worst. The teachers union are the worst thing for the education system because they refuse to change. They'll always refuse to change, and they're a burden.
Yeah.
So
people will go to the internet and they'll figure it out.
Well, I had the argument with Angel Santiago.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And he was like, "No, people have to go to college." I was like, "Dude, I never went to college, and I guarantee you, I can use the internet to draw up a curriculum."
Right.
Just draw up. What do you call it? A curriculum or a
lesson plan.
A lesson plan about the fall of the Roman Empire that is just as good, if not better, than the average teacher.
Right.
So the idea that you have to go, I never went to college. So the idea that you need to go to college to do these things is antiquated. It's outdated.
You said it yourself really well. It's just not everything is kept in a library in the center of town anymore.
No.
It's like everybody has a more powerful library than ever existed in their pocket.
That's every answer that is humanly known.
Right.
To any human question.
Yeah.
That is humanly known. That is known.
I mean, the way we sort the information needs to get a little bit better. It needs to be parsed out, filtered, whatever. But
that's self-regulation too.
You
have to properly yourself go through that.
Yeah, sure.
How
we doing?
I think that's it, man.
Cool.
So we ended strong on the teacher thing. I wanted to get to that too because you're a teacher.
Yeah.
And you have experience in that background.
We can definitely.
I think we had an argument on this online too about the future of education.
Well, yeah. I
brought up the VR. I was like,
oh sure.
Whatever we're doing now in this form right now and socially on this platform, just imagine that 10 times.
Yeah.
And that's what's going to happen.
Well, it might take a while.
Yeah.
I think that was where the argument was, right?
I don't think it's going to take that long. Because you see VR now.
You see it's happening, but just as I've been involved with software development,
right,
it does take time.
Yeah.
I'm sure, there are super smart people way smarter than me that are going to figure it out quicker than I ever could. But I see, I'm going under the hood of what their techniques are, and it's going to take time, to put it succinctly.
I don't think it's going to take that much time.
Have
you ever seen, for one thing, you don't need graphic design for the VR interaction. All you need is one person on each end to have VR and the teacher to have a 360 camera.
Oh yeah, in that sense. Yeah.
So
I've suggested that in a different sort of way before.
You're not creating graphics. All you're doing is putting a camera.
Right. Yeah. So it's almost like the panoramic
camera. They're doing it. And if you ever go on to, they have the NBA, they have the NHL, they have, I think the NFL's coming up, where you can VR at a game.
Wow.
And experience being on the sideline.
Buy a seat.
On the sideline and switch views.
Wow.
To each camera.
Wow.
And that doesn't require graphics or anything. That just requires
multiple cameras.
It just requires cameras and a link. And that's it. That's why I'm saying it's going to be faster than you think, because there's no barrier there but initiative.
Right.
So the only thing I didn't
even think about that.
The only thing that's holding that back is someone that's going to make it proficient and the initiative.
I think I'd look at it more from, so you're talking about like a virtual classroom.
Yeah, you have a teacher,
right,
and a camera, a panoramic camera.
I'm thinking,
and they can do a class.
Yeah,
an hour. They can do a 20-minute class, and the kid can
right there.
Kid can go in, and they can interact with the teacher. I mean, she can hear them.
Right. It's sort of like what I already do, but panoramic. The part that I think I'm coming from is using technology to develop better curriculum.
Right.
So getting in the classroom, but like when I teach something, like half of my job is just teaching like repetitive nonsense, which is completely unnecessary.
Right.
I'm trying to develop games that will get the kids more engaged and track their progress in a way that they are not allowed to move on to the next topic until the foundation has been set.
The first education systems that are going to try attempt that, the VR system, is going to be the online colleges.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to do a curriculum where you can just virtually be in a classroom, and it's going to be from this time to this time, from your home, and you put your VR, and a teacher's there.
Yeah. And
she has headphones on, and she can listen and hear the class.
Yeah.
And you can even, if you want to answer a question, press on the keyboard and a light lights up.
Right.
In the classroom.
Sure.
And she can condense that classroom to this size.
Right. And then she could kind of be teaching like thousands of people.
She can teach thousands of people, or she can teach as many as she wants, and she can do it from her basement.
Right.
or from her living room.
Right.
All she needs is a TV.
Yes.
Well,
kind of
like a TV that's a blackboard that she can touch and start
Right.
She can write on, and she can do that and just erase it, and then
Right.
or she can send it to your VR.
Right. Take the traditional classroom style and just adapt it to VR.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's I think the online...
that will be very quick. I think you're correct about that.
Yeah, because
I think, but next level like curriculum development,
right,
will take time.
Yeah.
Because getting like a fun game that actually has strong pedagogical backing to it, I don't think anybody's really solved that yet.
Any curriculum that doesn't require lab work, where you don't need to be there to do any lab work, because lab work's important because you're applying theory to practice.
Right.
So anything that doesn't require lab work is going to be adaptable.
Right.
But lab work, you have to be there.
Yeah.
Because
it's real world.
Yeah,
shit.
you're applying a theory into the practice of reality.
Right.
So. All right.
Cool.
All right, man. You have fun?
Yeah.
It's good?
That's awesome.
You want to come back?
Yeah, definitely.
Sorry, it's cold. I like to keep it cold.
No, it probably keeps us awake, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's the movie theater.
Yeah, the casino.
It's the casino. I mean, you want to hit on anything or?
No, I'm fine.
All right. Well, I hope you come back, man.
Cool.
All right.
It's good.
Take care. Well, your camera's over here.
Whatever.